And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeon Delving, where we're diving deep into the rooms that is the Commander Sealed tier list. We've done 108 commanders, and we need to do 107 more. Wow, this sucks. But we are on to arguably one of my favorite sets that's ever been printed. We're going to be doing the rest of the Baldur's Gate legendaries along with those planeswalkers, because they are all eligible to be your commander. And then we will be doing all of Lord of the Rings, all 82 legendary creatures that could be in Lord of the Rings in your packs. And then at the end of this, okay.
Let's be honest, Lord of the Rings we're gonna burn through real quick.
There's going to be a lot of Ds, mainly because, not to say that they're bad legendary creatures, if you pull them, include them in your decks, some of them have got very, very strong abilities, like most of the elves that do scrying. Even incidental scry is going to be very, very useful during this kind of format, and getting any kind of bonus for that, also very strong. Who knows? We might have one or two upsets. Who knows? Maybe we will say, we'll talk about Gandalf White Rider. I don't know who gets him, but for some reason his picture won't load. But we are going to talk about him. I tried to find out if he was a Jumpstart exclusive. He's not, because there is two legendaries that are Jumpstart exclusives. Neither of them are on the list. And then we have two legends, which are Aragorn and Arwen Wed, and Sauron the Lidless Eye are both starter deck exclusives only. You cannot pull either of them in the boosters that we would be receiving at this event. So, real quick, what is Commander Sealed? Commander Sealed is an event where we get together. We get 14 packs, 9 guaranteed, 2 from 4 different sets: Lord of the Rings, Ravnica Remastered, Bloomburrow, and
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, thank you. And then 1 from MH3. You also get 5 packs among random sets throughout the time in Magic. There's a list of where they could be, but because those are random and you're not guaranteed to ever pull those, we're not going to be looking at those. We're not doing that video. However, at the end of this, I have one extra thing that I have not told Geek and Ryan about. You're going to pick a commander between this list and last list that you would get as your preferred commander.
Oh.
Yes. So something simple. And I gave myself a challenge, but if we're running low on time, I'll skip it, which is I was going to rank the top 3 commanders from Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is my shit. We're going to try to curse less on this episode too, because the editor called me out on something.
You already just did.
I'm trying not to say the F word.
So it's like no, it's not like Deadpool. It's like other MCU movies where you get 1, right?
Yes, yep. I get 1.
One.
So, with that, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing we've been doing. So we're going to keep the order of myself, Geek, and then Ryan reading off the commanders. But yeah, we have a special guest. Geek, who are you?
Hello again. I'm Geek Beardly. Find me everywhere, Geek Beardly. I do the Planar Project deck theme project. I do it's all planar themes. So you do Strixhaven Commander, you get all cards in there, Strixhaven, things like that. That's pretty much my thing. Yeah. Happy to be here again. Thanks for having me.
We are very, very happy to have you back. If you've seen Geek in our content before, that's because he was part of Ravnica, the False Guild Pact Rises. He was there for 3 whole sessions. The 2 that his group was included for, and then Zeke Geek actually made it to the final session to fight Kaldasir. Didn't die.
Yeah.
Both Zeke and Kaldasir didn't die. Spoiler warning.
Boo.
But let's just go ahead and get things started with our first legendary, Aragorn, Company Leader. He is 1 green and a white for a 3/3 human ranger. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Aragorn as your ring bearer, put your choice of a counter from among First Strike, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink on Aragorn. And whenever you put 1 or more counters on Aragorn, put 1 of each of those kinds of counters on up to 1 other target creature. Starting off pretty strong. pretty strong.
It's not bad.
I think the biggest thing you're
The-
going to have in these sets is +1/+1 counters.
Mm-hmm.
The benefit is he does not care what kind of counters he gets on him. He just cares that you're putting counters on him. And so when you're playing spells like, what's the Tyvar Stand from March of the Machine, which is a booster you can get, not guaranteed to, but you can get. That puts a +1/+1 counter on something and gives it like indestructible and hexproof. So this is a thing where it's a 1-mana spell that puts a +1/+1 counter on 2 of your creatures and can save Aragorn. So it's a very strong spell for that. I can imagine him getting out of hand pretty quickly. You're not guaranteed to get a huge amount of counters. The ring temps is very, very minimal throughout the set that are going to be relevant or that you're going to pull for that matter. White-green is the best color for it. White, green, and black are the 3 colors it appears in the most. So that's something. I think more so you're going to be relying on that second ability. I'm willing to put him...
He feels very middle ground for me. Like, B is definitely, I think, is safe. Like, he's definitely wanted a more...
I would say
like,
he's
better
lower
one.
B or higher C. Because, like,
I
you're
can go
getting
with
2
B.
colors. I was like,
Yeah,
you're getting
I
2
think-
colors. You're getting a strategy that can actually work. There's plenty of green and white things that put counters on stuff.
Exactly.
So, okay.
Yeah, I say start off. I think B is fine for right now. Like, we literally have nothing in there, so like right now, lead it off with B is I think is fine.
Yeah.
I agree. Geek.
And I get the other Aragorn. Aragorn the Uniter. All 4 colors other than black for a 5/5 human noble. Whenever you cast a white spell, make a 1/1 white human soldier. Whenever you cast a blue spell, scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, he deals 3 damage to target opponent. Whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. I'm going to say A already just because
He's
relevant in everything. I wouldn't say S because 4 colors can be limiting.
Yeah, I
But
think
definitely high A.
I definitely
agreed.
agree with that. My whole argument towards Brea in the last video was going 4 color, look at your commander as if they were 2 mana higher. Giving yourself 2 turns to draw that 4th color that you could need is pretty relevant. And Brea does not look as good as a 6 mana commander. Aragorn, however, still looks absolutely devastating as a 6 mana commander.
He doesn't care what you do, he gets value.
Yeah, you just
And, like,
play all the fun spells you have in his colors. Though I think his deck is mostly red-green.
Yeah,
I think
we talked about this on the side.
Yeah, I think in any deck, you kind of want to balance because all of his stuff is good. But leaning more towards red-green to pump your creatures and deal direct damage to your opponents is arguably the
Or
best
even
thing to
Naya.
do. Yeah, or even Naya to make the
Yeah,
tokens so
even-
you have
yeah.
blockers.
Yeah, no,
or
I can
the
agree with
things to
that.
pump. Yeah, but absolutely A.
Yeah,
He's so strong.
There's definitely
He's
no
also a
argument.
5/5. Like, that is such a relevant stat line for no reason.
Well, he's a 9/9 if you cast a green spell.
He is
Yeah.
a 9/9 if you guys
And
are
if you, and most green spell and good chunk of the green spells you can probably get in the sets have a way to give trample. That ain't nothing.
And on top of that,
Yeah.
all multicolor spells are going to trigger him multiple times, which is crazy to think about.
Oh yeah. All right. So after that should be a hard follow up. But we have Arwen, Mortal Queen, 1 green and a white for a 2/2 elf noble. Arwen enters the battlefield with an indestructible counter on it. You can pay 1, remove an indestructible counter from Arwen. Another target creature gains indestructible 10 to turn. You put a 1/1 counter and lifelink counter on that creature, and a 1/1 counter and a lifelink counter on Arwen. Very solid ability.
Honestly,
Like-
B. I'd put her right behind Aragorn.
Yeah, like
I'd almost put her ahead of Aragorn.
I-
Indestructible is very relevant, and she pumps something. Lifelink is very good when you have
and-
30 life.
and you're in white, which has ways to flicker. So if you could flicker her and like keep like just getting
Yeah,
that
she doesn't
count,
care
like,
about being cast. I could see. I think the idea for me is that she only can do her own creature. Her ability only affects her own creature once. Indestructible is pretty relevant. I could go either way. I think that she does.
these two are very
I think
close.
B. I think we guaranteed B. Above or below is where I would sit. I'm fine with that
Yeah,
either way.
I think these two are like, pretty even.
We have our first uncommon, and that is Bilbo, Retired Burglar. 1 blue and a red for a 1/3 halfling rogue. When Bilbo enters or leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever Bilbo deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. We've already mentioned, it's already been mentioned on Aragorn Company Leader. The ring tempts you. I think the biggest thing to note is that in the first level, it makes the creature that's a ring bearer legendary if it's not already, and creatures with power greater than its can't block it. So Bilbo comes in, and his first ability is he is a 1/3 and cannot be blocked by creatures with power greater than 1. Incredibly relevant, and when he deals combat damage, you make a treasure token.
Pretty
He's just solid.
for an uncommon.
He's just solid. I would say that because he can ramp you, unlike Galazeth Prismari, for example, who does also make a treasure upon doing a thing, and can reuse that treasure, it only can be used on instants and sorceries, which is why I would put Galazeth in this format below Bilbo. I think Bilbo is like, I would either put him at like top of C, and he's probably going to remain there for a while, or below Aragorn. Because like,
I could see him below Aragorn.
the ability to ramp yourself consistently throughout the game is worth it. Especially because he only needs to, if he leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you a second time, and then you're drawing and discarding a card whenever whenever you attack with your ring bearer. When he comes back in, it'll be at 3, and if a creature can block him, and say it's a 1/3 like he is, it will get sacked at end of combat, which means it's going to die. So, yeah,
right.
I think, yeah.
Got the next uncommon. This is going to be an easy one. Bill Fernie, 3 Swindler, 1 in a blue for a human rogue, 2/1. Whenever he becomes blocked, choose 1, make a treasure token, or target opponent gains control of target horse you control. If they do, remove Bill Fernie from combat and create 3 treasure tokens. I'm going to say D. There's one color, you're not going to have any horses.
Yeah, and his ability is super restrictive. D. There's no
he's getting blocked,
honestly.
he's dying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's 2/1. So, yeah. Easy.
Easy D. We had 3 Bills in a row. Bill.
Yep, because following up now is Build a Pony, which is
we love Bill.
3 and a white. We Build a Pony. We love. We
are
love
Build a
this
Pony
horse.
stands.
1/4 for a legendary creature horse. When Build a Pony enters the battlefield, it creates 2 food tokens. You can sack a food until end of turn. Target creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Fun ability, but it's still D. It's mono.
We're putting him above Bill Fenry, because Bill Fenry's a butthead.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
But yes, unfortunately.
But unfortunately, like if you in at sealed and you're running a food deck and you pull Build a Pony, if you can slot him in, sure, he gives you food tokens and everything. That's cool. But his ability is very restrictive. Probably not going to be ideal.
Honestly, sometimes the life gain can save you.
It can. I don't disagree.
Our next commander is Otowin. I always pronounce her last name wrong. I'm not doing it on purpose, so I'm going to call her something else that she's been called. Otowin Evenstar. She is Undamniel. Okay.
Undamniel. Yep.
Undamniel. Green and a blue for a 2/2 legendary creature, elf noble. Whenever you scry, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. For 4 green and a blue, scry 2/C.
Yeah.
I can't give her any higher than that. She has built-in scry honor, which is nice. That is sometimes useful, and she has a way to trigger herself, which is what a lot of these other commanders are going to lack. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it's fine. You get 2 colors at least, and she's a 2 mana 2/2.
Yep, she's fine. All right, we've got Boromir, Warden of the Tower, 2 and a white for a human soldier, 3/3, with vigilance. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. Sacrifice Boromir. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn, and the ring tempts you. Say D.
He's still D.
Top of D.
You put him in any white deck you got.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I've been playing this guy in my Akroma and Inara deck for partners. He only has 1 keyword, but honestly, that sacrifice and make something indestructible has saved me 4 times now, and I put him in the deck I think 2 weeks ago. It's so strong.
All right. After that, we have Butterbur, Bree, Innkeeper and it's 2 green and a white for a 3/3 human peasant. At the beginning of your end step, if you don't control food, create a food token.
There are
Honestly,
a lot of things that care about food and just controlling a token in general. C, I
I would
think he
say
goes
low
above
C.
Arwen.
You think?
Yeah. She yes, she could trigger herself, but he can as well. He just makes you a food, which isn't crazy.
Right.
But
Like,
2 mana to gain 3 life compared to 6 mana to scry 2.
Fair.
It's just a heavy investment. Green Blue does have a lot going for it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah.
I don't disagree with that, but yeah, it's 6 mana scry 2 is kind of feels bad.
Yeah. Celeborn the Wise, 3 and a green for a 3/3 elf noble. Whenever you attack with 1 or more elves, scry 1. Whenever you scry, Celeborn the Wise gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each card looked at while scrying this way. D, below Boromir, above Bill.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty.
He triggers himself. If it was +1/+1 counters, I'd put him above Boromir. But
it's just +1. It's on the turn, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, if you scry 3, he gets +3/+3.
Oh yeah. So like you can give or take, but like he's mono green, so he's restrictive. Is he, or is he? No, he is mono green, right?
Yeah,
yes, he is mono green. So
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was Simic for some reason out of nowhere.
Most of the elves are, but not him.
Fair point. Yeah, but yeah, no, D is. I think that's a fair. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of Ds in this one.
There's going to be a lot of Ds. There's a lot of monocolor commanders.
So we've got next is Denethor, Ruling Steward, 1 white black for a 2/4 human noble. Beginning of your end step. If a creature died under your control this turn, make a 1/1 human soldier. 2 mana, sack another creature. Each opponent loses life and you gain a life. I like that one because he actually triggers himself. I would say he's low B, but high C.
I would say high C. I think his ability.
I'm surprised at you considering he's Orzhov.
Correct. The big thing for me is the fact that I hate Denethor as a character.
That doesn't matter when we're ranking him.
However, the fact that if he made a token for each creature that died under your control, so if you lost 4 creatures and he made 4 1/1s to replace them, absolutely gonna be. Doesn't matter how many creatures you lose, you only get 1 1/1, and it's only during your end step. It was each end step that would also be an argument to put him higher up, but he makes a single 1/1 at your end step, no matter what you do. Granted, he doesn't care about creatures tokens dying, so I definitely think he's the highest of C as of right now.
Sure.
He's definitely above the 2 that are currently there, Arwen and Butterbur.
Sorry, Butterbur. You make good beer and good food, but
yeah.
At least you don't eat tomatoes like that, though.
All right. Here we go. Another elf. And next up is Elrond, Master of Healing. 2 green and a blue for a 4/4 elf noble. Whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on up to X target creatures, where X is the number of cards looked at while scrying this way. Whenever a creature you control with 1/1 counter on it becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card.
So,
honestly, I would say arguing
C, the highest of C now. I would say that I would say this: if we put him in B, he's the lowest of B. I would much rather have Bilbo's ability than Elrond's, but I could very much see him doing more than Denethor, because Green Blue also has a crap ton of ways to just put counters on things.
True.
And drawing cards unrestricted is very strong.
Your opponent does have to target it, though. So
yes,
there's that part.
It's still like if they target it with a removal spell, at least you get a card to replace it.
I mean, I could put him around Denethor. I wouldn't put him in B then.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's fair.
Now the real question is, do we think above or below Denethor? Because you seem to like Denethor more than I do.
I think he's below Denethor because he's dealing with scrying specifically.
And he can't
And he
make
also needs-
himself scry.
And he can't make himself scry, and you don't draw the card unless your opponent targets your stuff. And if your opponent knows that you're going to draw a card for targeting your stuff, maybe they don't. I think he has a very, very low floor.
That's
fair.
fair.
I think
fair.
that's fair.
You want a lower floor? Here we go. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. 2 and a blue for a 3/2 elf noble. When Elrond, Lord of Rivendell, or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, the ring tempts you. D.
Wow,
It's
that's easy D.
yeah. Are we saying what are we saying below?
Below.
Below both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is something in Commander Sealed where it is a dungeon in the last turns of the game when time is called in the round. Everybody starts going through like what is called the circus. And one of those is you cast spells for free. So Boromir's ability can become very relevant later on in the game. They just, your opponents can't go to that room, but you can.
All right. Got one of the Aomirs, Amber of the Rittermark. 4 in red for a 5/4 human knight. He has haste. Whenever he attacks, if you control a creature with greatest power among creatures on the battlefield, make a 1/1 white human soldier. D. Absolutely.
D.
Below Bill.
Below Bill?
Below Bill. Because Bill. I'm actually, he should
I
be
was
ahead
gonna-
of Bill, but still.
I was going to put him above Celeborn.
Above Celeborn?
He.
True
what's
enough.
his?
I could see that.
Okay.
He's 5/4 with haste, which is relevant in this format.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah. He is.
I could see this Agamur being better. So fair enough. Oh, wait, no, this Agamur cares about legendary creatures. Go ahead, Rye. Sorry.
Yep. Sorry. Up next is Eomer, Marshal of Rohan. 2 red and a red for a 4/4 human knight. Has haste. Whenever one or more attacking legendary creatures you control die, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase, and it only triggers once each turn. Still D.
Still D.
Still D.
This one
Still
might be
D.
above Boromir.
The haste 4/4, and if you have other legendary creatures and one dies, it does give you another combat, which is not bad. Yeah, I could.
Honestly, I think the fact that he's a 4-mana 4/4 with haste puts him above Boromir,
Sure.
Yeah,
who's a 3-mana 3/3 with Vigi, which is relevant, but I'd rather have a 4/4 with haste that I could, pump immediately upon coming out.
Yep.
Eowyn, Fearless Knight. We're looking at a commander that might be in B. 2 red and a white for a 3/4 human knight with haste. When Eowyn, Fearless Knight, enters, exile target creature and opponent controls with greater power. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors until end of turn. That could be an Alpha Strike end the game like effect.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's only your legendary creatures, which means she does grant herself protection, which is very, very nice. Yeah, I could see her.
I definitely say
Definitely
B. Definitely B.
Be below Bilbo. I think Bilbo's just got better long game longevity. People are going to see Eowyn coming.
It's a
I can. It is a toss up. I feel like again, it's the same argument that I had made with Arwen and Aragorn. Like they're both right there. Like in the sense, like you could go either way with these. So it's definitely. I think we're in the same boat with both Bilbo and.
I'd be willing to put her above Bilbo because
Bilbo
just helps you through.
Toss up.
Yeah, Bilbo just helps you throughout the game, and I think I
She
like
might
that.
be just a 3/4 unblockable haster.
Yeah,
This is true, which can end the game.
so, yeah.
And you do
I
get
say-
protection from all of those creatures' colors, and if your
Yep.
opponents have any overlapping colors, you will gain protection from those colors as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, okay, above Bilbo is fine. I can understand that.
Yeah, it's not to knock Bilbo at all. Like again, very viable commander. Like, I would just edges them out just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
On the other hand, this one,
The other Eowyn, Lady of Rohan, 2 in white for 2/4 human noble. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature gains your choice of first strike or vigilance until end of turn. If that creature is equipped, it gains first strike and vigilance until end of turn instead. Equip abilities you could activate cost 1 less to activate.
D.
D.
Absolute D.
D, and quite frankly, I put her above
Barely
Bill.
above Bill Fernie.
Put her above Bill Fernie. Yep.
Yep.
Bill Fernie will
Everyone's
be the
above Bill
last of the
Fernie.
D's because he's a butthole.
Exactly.
Mainly because he is a D.
All right. Next up, we have Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold. 3 in a red for a 3/3 human soldier. Whenever Erkenbrand or another human enters a battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. D, but if you pull them and are running red, white, or red in any deck and have humans, sure.
He himself is pretty high D, just because there's going to be a lot of humans.
Oh yeah,
I'd
So
put him
you
above
got-
Aomer.
So we
Highest
go
of D?
in- Yeah,
Sure.
because he, like I said, he cares.
He's unrestricted other than humans, and there's a lot of humans.
Exactly. Like he himself, when he enters the battlefield, triggers, and then another human triggers. Like
Yep.
if you have a lot of cheap human spells, you're gonna just I don't know where
Also,
just
if you can make humans at instant speed
yeah.
as like a combat trick.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Alright.
humans, Faramir, Field Commander. 3 in a white for a 3/3 human soldier. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir, Field Commander, as your ring bearer, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. D. Drawing a
D.
card, very nice. Don't get me wrong. D.
Where are we thinking? Below?
Above
Above
Celeborn,
Celeborn,
below Aomer.
Below Aramir.
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
All right. I've got the first of the Frodos. Frodo, Determined Hero. 1 white for a 2/2 halfling warrior. Whenever Frodo enters the battlefield or attacks, you may attach target equipment you control with mana value 2 or 3 to Frodo. As long as it's your turn, prevent all damage that will be dealt to Frodo. D. Absolute D. Below a lot of them.
Below Bill the Pony.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
All right,
Likelihood
let's
of you
talk
having the
about
relevant equipment is not there.
no. Let's
All
talk about what I think might be our first S.
Arguably, it's definitely arguable. So Frodo, Sauron's Bane, single white for a 1/2 halfling citizen, but this Frodo does count as Orzhov because it does have the ability where you can pay either white, white, black, black, or any combination of the two. If Frodo, Sauron's Bane is a citizen, it becomes a halfling scout with base power, toughness 2/3, and lifelink, or you can pay 3 black. If Frodo is a scout, it becomes a halfling rogue with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game if the ring has tempted you 4 or more times this game. Otherwise, the ring tempts you.
Yep.
He's S.
He can win you the game.
He straight
by
up can
himself.
win you the game. He's super low mana value. I actually think, hilariously enough, him becoming a 2/3 is his biggest detriment.
I will say this.
Because-
if he's your ring bearer at 1 power, he's so much better. He
Yeah.
won't be
Yeah.
blocked.
Yeah,
But yeah.
he's S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doesn't
There's
that
no
make you
argument.
happy? Orzhov, S tier.
I am.
Just like Astarion.
White black
The
is
fact-
arguably got the best the ring
The
tempts you
fact that
types of things.
in back-to-back episodes, obviously we're only doing 2 episodes of this, but the fact that we had 2 Orzhov commanders hit S rank is absurd.
Let's go. But let's talk about what might be, taking everything into consideration, our next S rank commander with Faramir, Prince of Athelion. That's right, buddy. You did it. You got crapped on in the books and in the movies by your dad, but you might have made it here. He's 2 white and a blue for a 3/3 human noble. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack you that turn. Otherwise, create 3 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. That is a powerful ability for this kind of format.
Yeah, like
It's really good.
yeah, and I know, Geek. I know your disdain for Azorius, but
I would say
even
this. He's at
but even
least
you
an
can't.
A.
He's
Yeah.
he's an A to me, and
Yeah.
I don't like Azorius.
So, like, the argument here is that there's going to be at least one aggro player at the table. And as soon as you play Faramir, you're always choosing them. Because if they attack you like they want to, you start making bodies. If they don't attack you, you draw cards and inevitably are going to gain advantage. You also could just choose your other opponents if you know they're not going to do the thing. Hey, I know you're not going to attack me, so I'm choosing you because I want to draw the card. Or, hey, I know you're going to attack me, so I'm choosing you because you have a goated creature that can't swing anywhere else.
Right, and I want the bodies.
It's very powerful. He works immediately the turn he comes out. Like, the biggest problem with Frodo is that you need time to build that up. Right? Like, on the turn you can play him, you are not going to be able to turn him into his final form until turn 4, when you have 3 black available to you.
I would say he's really high A, probably above Aragorn.
I think the problem is that Aragorn's Aragorn's ceiling is so much higher than Faramir's, but Faramir's floor and consistency is much higher than Aragorn's.
Yeah, like
if you get all monocolored spells, your Aragorn deck's gonna feel bad. But if you get a bunch of multicolored spells that you're gonna be able to cast consistently,
no, different story then.
Sure.
I will be. I'm okay with A. I think A above Aragorn. I think that's.
Faramir, I love you. It's the only time you'll be above Aragorn, like ever, ever. Let's be real. The guy who played him in the movies, I can't remember his name. You did a phenomenal job. No.
All right. Fangorn, Tree Shepherd, 4 green, 7 mana. For a 4/10, big butt, Tree Folk. Tree Folk you control have Vigilance. Whenever one or more Tree Folk you control attack, add twice that much green. You don't lose unspent green mana as phases and steps end.
What's that? Oh, yep,
D.
that's a 4/10, buddy. You're in a D.
Yeah.
Still D.
Still
High
D,
D,
unfortunately.
but D.
Agreed.
Above Faramir Field Commander?
You don't lose that green mana. That's pretty nice to be able to bank.
I think the problem is that he's 7 mana to get out.
Yeah,
That's
he's
true.
still a lot.
It's true. In green. And this is not a lot of rampy format.
But I'm willing to listen.
Middle ground? I say
No,
middle
I'm
ground.
all right with there.
Middle
That's
ground's fine.
I think middle ground is a fair placement.
Oh my god, we finally don't have to talk
about
about Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
like 1 moment.
Yeah, for 1 moment, because then we're back into it. So we have our first planeswalker that can be a commander. Because I am a fool when I was making the list for episode 1. I forgot that Baldur's Gate had 3 planeswalker commanders.
Whoops.
That was on me.
And hey, at least Geek doesn't get all of them this time.
Yeah.
Boo!
All right. So the first planeswalker that can be your commander is Elminster, and he costs 3 white and a blue. He's a 5 loyalty planeswalker. Whenever you scry, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards looked at while scrying this way. His +2 is draw a card, then scry 2, and his -3 is exile the top card of your library, create a number of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to that card's mana value.
B?
If B, I say low B.
Very low B.
I would say
He's not
low
going to
B.
get removed very easily.
No, and he
unless
can
you just get attacked.
Yeah,
Right,
and he can also make
and he does
defenders
trigger
for him.
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you get lucky and you could just make a butt ton of fairy dragons off the top of your deck, that's very strong.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so I would say low B, high C if we were going there.
I'd say top of C.
Sure.
But for B, I would say probably lowest of B. I find it either way.
Yeah, I think he definitely. I think he's at least deserving of the B tier.
He comes in and immediately replaces himself. Immediately gets you a card, lets you look at what your next 2 draws are going to be, which is very strong.
And then you maybe, if you have enough mana, you can always cast something else.
Yeah, true. Because he's going to discount spells.
Yep.
Yeah, that discount does help.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Galadriel of Lothlorien. 1 green and a blue for a 3/3 elf noble. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Galadriel of Lothlorien as your ring bearer, scry 3. Whenever you scry, you may reveal the top card of your library. If a land card is revealed this way, put it onto the battlefield tapped D.
Yep.
Just D.
Well,
Where are we thinking?
No,
See
come
the
on.
colors.
She is 2 colors. She's not worse than that Arwen, though. Well, she might be slightly because she doesn't trigger herself, but
Yeah,
still.
she has no way to
Lowest
trigger
of
herself.
C.
Sure, lowest of C. I'll take
She
it.
has 2 colors.
Okay, I can agree with that.
At the very
She has
least.
also a 3 mana 3/3, so like she's not
Yeah.
terrible cost.
Plus, it's
Sure.
Galadriel. She's a queen. Gotta be nice to her, right? All right.
I'll always maybe nice to
Again?
Kate Blanchett.
Gandalf the White. 3 white for a 4/5 avatar wizard with flash. You may cast legendary spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. If a legendary permanent or an artifact entering or leaving the battlefield causes the triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. D.
D.
Still D.
High D.
High D.
Yeah, he's up
Hi,
there.
Dave.
Yeah.
I'd say below Urk and Brent.
Lower command. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's a powerful ability. It's very, very strong.
Flash is nice.
It's,
Yes.
it's one of those
Though.
things where, like, if you see it as a commander, you're going to go, oh no, what do you have? But honestly, if it just shows up in a deck at random, you're going to go, oh no, what do you have?
Yeah.
All right, so we got that first. That's one of the Gandalfs. We have the next one, Gandalf the Grey. 3 blue and a red for a 3/4 avatar wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You may tap or untap target permanent. Gandalf the Grey deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy target instant sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Or you put Gandalf on top of its owner's library. I say C, honestly. I'm thinking C.
I will allow your choices on this because I ripped really hard into the commanders who only care about instants and sorceries, and it's hard for my love of Lord of the Rings to not sway my decision on this. I want to say highest of C because
That's yeah. Like, I'm not saying like he's.
I put him above Elrond but below Denethor.
Yeah, I think
accept
Denethor
that.
still beats. I think
I'll accept
Denethor
that.
still beats him out.
Because Denethor is
he's
sack outlet.
versatile.
He does drain your opponents.
sure.
Gandalf requires you to have instants and sorceries.
Yeah, I say Gandalf
You're gonna
Fully
need
understood.
creatures, though.
second from the top. I
I'm about to say he
agree
can
with.
save himself from removal though. If you play an
Yes.
instant, then you just go, I'm gonna put him top of my library, and then this way your opponents now no longer hit him with a removal spell.
And that's why kind of what he said. That's why I lean to see like when after you're reading his abilities, like he has protection. Like yeah, you have to have instant or sorcery, but usually if you're gonna be playing a red and blue type deck, you're gonna have interaction.
My favorite character from Lord of the Rings. This is Gimli, Mournful Avenger. 1 red and a green for a 3/2 dwarf warrior. Gimli has indestructible as long as 2 or more creatures died under your control this turn. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Gimli. When this ability resolves for the 3rd time this turn, Gimli fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Highest of C? You're in
Pretty high
2
C.
colors.
Yeah, definitely how you see like
You're in 2
The only thing
colors.
limiting is you must have things dying for him to do his good things, but he's really good when it does happen.
And
yeah.
he does not care if they're creature tokens or not.
Yes. So yeah, I
What
put
was
him above
saying-
Denethor.
But yeah, okay. So I think we're in agreement with that one.
He also
Plus
can just be a
I love Gimli
giant.
too.
He could just be a
Oh,
giant
Gimli's
FU
great,
swinger.
especially and it's like I like for the actor like throwing myself under the bus here. I have not watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies to completion,
Jonathan Rhys Davies, I believe, is who plays him.
but I have seen Gimli scenes with him and Legos, and I freaking
We dwarf are
love
natural
it.
sprinters. We're very dangerous over short distances.
Gimli is arguably one can be a lot of people's
also-
favorites. I do plan to watch the rest of the Lord of the Rings movies. I just
Fun thing to find
time-wise
out:
is not
he
my
is,
not my friend.
Jonathan Rhys Davies is also the voice of Treebeard.
Makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Up next
Oh, yes, my turn.
is
Back
another
to Gimli
Gimli.
again. Gimli, counter of kills. 3 in a red for a 4/3 dwarf warrior with trample. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, he deals 1 damage to that creature's controller.
D, but pretty high D.
Pretty
That's
high
a
D.
really
Probably under
relevant
Urkenbrand.
ability.
Yeah,
Above Erkenbrand?
no,
Just
I
below
say
him, I think.
Okay,
I say,
I can
like,
accept that.
above Gandalf, but
Around
below
there.
Erkenbrand.
Honestly, if he weren't monocolor, he'd probably be in
He
B.
might be. Yeah.
I'm so happy that Ryan gets this next one. It has his favorite keyword in it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, God. This is karma for me. All right. Next card up is Glowing Dwarf Emissary. 2 in a red for a 3/3 Dwarf Advisor. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure token. The ability only triggers once each turn. And then tap, sack a treasure, goad target creature. I am notorious, and I will stand. This is a hill I will die on. I hate goad. I do not like this mechanic.
I hope that you have to put Gloin in a deck to finish it out.
I will refuse.
D.
He's
Still
unfortunately D. Yeah, he's definitely a D rank. Because since he cares so much about historic spells, but only triggering once each turn. Really, like, while I hate goad, it is a if you
Above
needed to
Aemir,
use it.
below Gandalf. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. My
Yeah,
apologies.
somewhere around there is probably good.
Yeah.
Finish what you're saying.
But my stance on goad is still I still hate it. So we're thinking
Below
Below
Gandalf,
Gandalf.
above Aemir.
okay.
Gollum, Patient Plotter. 1 in a black for a 3/1 halfling horror. When Gollum, Patient Plotter leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Black and sack a creature, return Gollum from your graveyard to your hand, activate only as a sorcery. D. D and low D.
We're thinking like low down here.
I want to say probably above Frodo.
Yeah.
He gives you a
At
way
least
to
you're-
sack a
yeah.
It'll
creature.
cooperate. There we go.
He gives you a way to sack a creature. The ring tempting you is not an invaluable resource.
Mhm.
I get the really cool artwork. Goldberry, River Daughter, 1 in blue, for a 1/3 nymph. Tap her to move a counter of each kind not on Goldberry from another target permanent onto her. Or blue and tap her, move 1 or more counters from Goldberry onto another target permanent you control. If you do, draw a card.
She
D.
is a D. Yes.
D,
D, but
unfortunately.
really cool card.
Above
Yeah.
Bill Fenry, because again, it's
Yeah.
Bill Fenry.
Well,
So
there
we're saying-
are counters in this format, so she's definitely more better. She's better than Frodo, probably better than Gollum. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that because at least she draws you cards.
She
Yeah,
can
I can
draw
give-
cards.
She can draw cards.
How many
It
different
is
counters can
situational.
you really move around her?
Fine. Probably not
I'll
so
leave.
bad,
I'll
but
leave her where
still-
she's at. I'll leave her where she's
She's
at.
still
That's
cool.
fine.
She's still
I
cooler
think,
than Gollum.
yeah. All right, and then we got 2 golems in basically one shot. So the next one is Gollum, Scheming Guide. 1 in a black for a 2/1 halfling horror. Whenever Gollum Scheming Guide attacks, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put them back in any order, then choose land or non-land. An opponent guesses whether the top card of your library is the chosen kind. Reveal that card. If they guessed right, remove Gollum from combat. Otherwise, you draw a card and he cannot be blocked this turn.
Hilarious.
Oh, it is definitely hilarious. I still say D,
I think it's pretty
but
high D though because he might not be
Yeah,
blocked.
yeah, no, he's
He
definitely
can give
high.
you card advantage.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't. He's still D
above
rank just
above
because.
Gloin, below Gandalf.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
There you go. There you go, Gollum. You're trying. But now we move on to Gothmog, Morgul Lieutenant. 3 in a black for a for a 3/3 human soldier. When Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant enters, amass Orcs 1. And creature tokens you control have Death Touch. D,
Middle.
but yeah, middle D, probably above Aemir, below Boromir.
Sure. You have to
So you're saying-
specify which one. There's two
I said below Boromir, above Aemir.
Oh,
There
sorry. I was
That's
pulling
fine.
up some of the other cards that I'm gonna work on next.
All right.
Oh, cool! I didn't get the difficult pronounced one.
Iorith of the Healing House. 2 in blue for a 1/4 human cleric. Tap her to untap another target permanent. Tap her to untap 2 other target legendary creatures. D low D.
Yeah,
Above Goldberry.
Sure.
I can agree with
At least
that.
she can basically, she's basically a mana dork.
Yeah.
In mono blue.
Yep. All right, next is Grima Wormtongue. 2 and a black for a 1/4 human advisor. Your opponent can't gain life, and you can tap, sack another creature. Target player loses 1 life. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, amass Orcs 2.
Middle D.
Yeah, unfortunately, still D because he's only monocolored. But
Above Gothmog.
yeah,
I was gonna say below Gothmog.
Hmm.
Creature tokens are gonna be way more common than legendary creatures.
But also,
True.
no gaining life is nice.
the no gain life, the no gain life really helps.
I don't mind
But-
either
It's
way.
either way on that. It's fine.
Yeah, like I
Put
think
him
either
below,
way.
it's
Yeah,
good.
either way, I think it's.
We don't like Grima anyway. He's a butthead.
This is very true.
He isn't. Yeah,
He's not quite Bill
uh,
Fernie, but
No,
at least he takes
Bill-
out Saruman.
Spoilers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sharky.
Sorry, yes, Sharky.
Uh,
That's not even in the movies. They didn't even
It's-
show that part.
It's not, but it's in the books. Gwaihir the Wind Lord. 4 white and a blue for a 4/4 bird noble. This spell costs 2 less to cast as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. Flying, vigilance. Other birds you control have vigilance. C. But
I
that's
mean,
because
yeah.
birds have been printed a lot recently.
very
and
low,
with- and
very
with-
low C, but yes,
Yeah,
very low
Blue
C.
will help you.
I want to say
Blue will
above.
be huge.
I want to say above Galadriel, but below
you're saying-
Arwen.
Maybe.
Gwaihir's got built-in.
It's fine either way.
Yeah, Gwaihir's got built-in
Yeah, really.
discount. Again, like he works himself. He's a 4/4 flying vigilance, which is very relevant keywords. Galadriel needs a deck to support her, where Gwaihir can just come down and work.
Sure.
Is my argument at least.
Sure. All right. I have Grishnak. Oh wait, yeah, Grishnak. Grishnak Brash Instigator. 2 in red for a 1/1 Goblin Soldier. When Grishnak enters the battlefield, amass Orcs 2. When you do, until end of turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the amassed army's power. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Still D.
Still D,
D.
but
least you
can be
steal
relevant.
Yeah.
For those who are wondering, Grishnak is the orc captain who chases Merry and Pippin into Fangorn Forest.
Where are we thinking?
Below Grima,
Sure.
the ability to steal things is pretty relevant. If you
Mhm.
if he dies and your orc army and your army token doesn't, and then you replay him, it will get stronger and allow you to steal an even stronger creature.
True.
So,
But still D.
go ahead, Rye.
Yeah.
This is a commander
Alright.
you were thinking about building, wasn't it?
Yes, but unfortunately, that deck idea has been scrapped. It sucks because I really like this card, but I just could not make it work. So up next, we have King of the Oathbreakers, 2 white and black, for 3/3 Spirit Noble with has flying. Whenever King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control becomes a target of a spell, it phases out. Whenever King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control phases in, create a tapped 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. So
Tapped is the thing that puts him in C.
yeah, he's definitely C because of the colors. And it's the fact that like even if you yourself target your spirits, they will phase out. Like it's great to protect them if you're going to get about to get board wiped. Sure, fine, but yeah, that phasing out really hinders him.
C below Gwaihir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's fair.
Another character that might need explanation, Gorbag of Minas Morgul. 1 and a black for a 2/2 Orc Soldier. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. When you do, choose one. Draw a card, create a treasure token. Honestly, he'd be kind of up there if he were in 2 colors. If he were in 2 color, he might even be in B. Because it's an incredibly relevant ability. C's the highest I'm willing him to put, but because he's monocolor, D. Gorbag is the orc, is one of the orc captains that fights over the mithril coat in Minas Morgul when Frodo gets stung by Shelob.
He also totally has a Cockney accent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, where are we
we bring it to the Dark Lord.
Above Grishnak?
Above Grishnak, yes.
Leave those 2 orcs where they belong, right there. All right, I've got Landroval, Horizon Witness, 4 and white for a bird noble, 3/4 with flying. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until the turn. It's not a bad ability.
No, it's not.
It's
5
not.
mana for a 3/4 flyer. It's
Is it? It's monocolor, right?
mono white, so it's not great.
Unfortunately, puts it in D.
It's
still.
It's D. It's not bad though.
Above Gloin?
No. Maybe.
I can see the argument.
How about above Fangorn?
Sure. Sorry, Treebeard.
Come on. There you go. All right. Next, we have Lobelia Sackbill Baggins.
Oh yeah.
2 and a black
Stealing the spoons.
For a 2/3 halfling citizen with flash, menace or menace. When Lobelia enters the battlefield, exile target creature card from an opponent's graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Then create X treasure tokens where X is the exiled card's power.
That is not.
It's not bad.
It's really not.
Again,
it's pretty good.
That could be super ramp.
Oh yeah, it's a good ability. It's just the fact that she's again mono black. Like
she's definitely D, but she's higher up. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
She might even be the highest of D.
I think her possibilities put her up there. I still think Arkenbrand, just in the format, being able to just buff everything
above Gimli.
It's a toss up. Yeah, above Gimli, I think.
Above Gimli?
Yeah.
Or you know what? Above Gandalf.
Sure, let's go with there.
I think the fact that Gimli is just because, like, if your opponents aren't having creature cards put in your graveyard, you know, if you never find a good time to flash her out to get a big point of her ability, I can understand. Gimli's just going to work. Arkenbrand is just going to work.
Yep.
That brings us to Frodo Baggins. A green and a white for a 1/3 halfling scout. Whenever Frodo Baggins or another legendary creature enters under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. It's a fine ability. It can work. C at least.
Very low C.
Agreed.
I'd say above Elrond, actually.
Real?
Yeah.
So you're picking here?
Yeah. White and green gives you access to more legendary creatures. Because, like, for example, if Éomer was in white-red, I think he'd be in C. And he'd be pretty high C because his abilities would be really relevant. Where Frodo is going to get access to a lot of legendary creatures. And again, if you can get the ring to tempt you 4 times, each time Frodo does get through, you're going to make each opponent lose 3 life. You'll draw cards.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's pretty relevant. He's definitely not as good as the potential that Gandalf has, that Denethor's, like, just consistency is, and Gimli's ceiling. And he's definitely nowhere comparable to the other. I'm sorry, your great uncle's better than you.
Sure.
Well, your great uncle.
All right. Galadriel, Gift Giver, 3 green for a 4/4 elf noble. Whenever she enters or attacks, choose one, put a 1 counter on another target creature, create a food, or create a treasure. I think that she's got really relevant abilities on a decent sized body. I know it's mono, but she's very high D.
Yeah,
Me.
I can definitely see that.
She
I'm
Rambo.
kind of okay wherever you
She
put
gives
her
you
at.
life. She gives you buffs. She's the
So I'm
gift
sorry.
giver.
Did you say D or B? I might have misheard.
Still D, but very
Okay.
high D.
Below
we
Lobelia,
thinking-
above Gandalf?
Above Lobelia, I
Okay.
think, because she will
Yeah.
do the thing. Lobelia, you have to have the situation.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. God, I got another Gandalf. What the hell?
Another Gandalf, just for you.
All right. So next up is Gandalf, Friend of the Shire. 3 and a blue for a 2/4 Avatar Wizard. With Flash, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had Flash. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose or chose a creature other than Gandalf as your ring bearer, draw a card.
D.
D, unfortunately.
Above Gloin. Casting
Yeah.
sorcery spells at flash speed is very strong.
Sure.
We're bringing up to one of the characters never talked about in the books, but he's awesome. Glorfindel.
Not talked about in the movies. Talked about.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. I meant in the movies. Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer, 2 and a green for a 3/2 Elf Noble. Whenever you scry, choose one, and Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer, gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Glorfindel must be blocked this turn if able. Glorfindel can't be blocked by more than one creature each combat this turn. D.
Yeah.
You put him wherever. I don't even care.
Above Bill.
Definitely above Bill.
Yep.
So I care a little bit. Glorfindel is actually, from what I remember, he is actually the person who saves the hobbits from the ring wraiths at Amon Hen.
They replaced him with Arwen for the movie. He also is
Well,
one of the very few mortals they know came back to life, kind of like Gandalf did.
He's also one of the few mortals that can actually take on all 9 ring wraiths at the same time.
He's very powerful. That's why I'm
he's-
sad he got such
Yeah,
a
his
goofy
card is crap, which is really unfortunate
I'm like-
because he's actually such a really cool character in the books. He was just like
He's
I've
so
arrived.
powerful, they were like, he can't go with you all because that would just draw too much attention.
I believe and I believe the story-wise, it takes a Balrog to kill him.
That's what took him out in the first place. He killed
That's what it
Balrog,
was.
and it killed him.
Yeah, they killed
And
each
he was
other.
such a good person and so powerful. They were like, you know what? Go back.
The god of life just went, no, you can go back. You did it. Good job.
Really cool character. Anyway, next up, we got
next.
the first of our Legolas. Master Archer, 1 green. Elf Archer, 1/4 with reach. Whenever you cast a spell that targets him, put a 1/1 counter on him. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, he deals damage equal to his power to up to 1 target.
I've had a lot of arguments about this card. He's higher D because
Definitely.
Yeah. He's definitely higher. Yeah.
I want to say
Like-
he's probably he's above Gollum. Like he's above
I think
second
he's above
Gollum.
Gandalf.
So
Okay, I was thinking that as well, but
He's
like
also removal.
he
so
can
we're
be,
thinking
yeah.
right here?
That would put him, to me, that almost put him above Lobelia too.
I think the actual sheer potential Lobelia has does make her a little bit higher.
Sure.
She can ramp you in mono black, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Oh, second. That's finally
Legolas.
Yeah. Legolas, counter of kills. 2 green and a blue for a 2/3 elf archer. With reach, whenever you scry, if Legolas counter of kills is tapped, you may untap it. Do this only once each turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Legolas.
C, higher C.
C.
Higher.
Yeah. C because like the
Above?
color.
Above Denethor?
No.
Above Gandalf.
I would
Above
say.
Gandalf.
I would say.
Below
Yeah.
Denethor.
Yeah.
He's still a relevant 4-mana 2/3 reacher, which is pretty good when you can find people with flyers.
Yeah,
Yep.
And he does buff himself up.
I'm about to say if you're killing your opponent's small flyers, then he just gets
Mhm.
stronger and stronger until you swing him through for an attack.
Yep.
We are this
Oh, man, I
guy's
was
gonna
hoping
be
I got this one.
this is gonna be high up there. Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff, white and a black for a 2/1 halfling rogue. Whenever a player cast their second spell each turn. You lose 1 life. Create a treasure token. A.
Hey,
That is
Hey,
so strong.
are we saying
Below
below?
Aragorn.
Blue
Okay.
Aragorn, but yeah, very,
I think
very solid
Aragorn's
card.
Aragorn's potential is just way too high for Lotho to take into account.
That's
Okay.
really nice value for.
Oh, yeah.
For 2 mana and in 2 colors.
And again,
Oof.
Orzhov. Orzhov eating good tonight.
Orzhov eats real good on this list, strangely enough.
All right. We got another bird. Is that? Who is that?
Starts with an M.
That is
That is Menildor.
Metal
yes.
I said, Geek, I believe it's you.
Oh, is it me? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Metal Door. I thought it was you, Ryan. Apologize. Metal Door.
No, you're good.
Swift
I was
Savior,
confused for myself.
3 and a blue for a 3/3 bird soldier with flying. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. Still
D. But it's
Still D,
fun.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's a fun. It's a
Steal
fun
back
card.
your stuff that got stolen.
Below.
Not sure how relevant that's.
I more so think he's better for just for flicker and ETB like effects.
Yeah. What
Above Fangorn, below the other one.
Sure.
I mean, there ain't much really going
Ain't
on.
much.
Like,
Y'all.
all right. I apologize,
Okay.
Vince. I may butcher this. But the next commander is Mahur Urukai Captain.
Malhur. Close enough.
Mahur. Okay. Like I said, I was going to butcher it, but I don't watch Lord. But just black and red for a 2/2 orc soldier with menace. If 1 or more 1/1 counters will be put on an army, goblin, or orc you control, that many +1/1 that many +1 1/1 counters, that is a weird way it's worded, are put on it instead.
C.
C. Yeah.
Very low C.
Very low C. I
Definitely
think
low C because
above the King of Oathbreakers.
yeah, like the 1/1 counter strategy is not a bad thing.
It's not
but
super abundant in red and black, but it happens.
Exactly. Yeah, like
Mostly
it can
more
happen.
Goblins and orcs, but
Yeah,
Malhur, by
and-
the way, is the Urukai captain that is traveling with Grishnak after they captured Merry and Pippin.
all right.
This would be me. Quick fun story. You're probably wondering where Levitz Urukai captain is from the set. Levitz is a movie-only character. But for those wondering, Levitz is the guy in the movie who kills Boromir with a bow. Yeah, he's movie character only. A lot of fun facts. Mariadoc Brandybuck. 1 and a green for a 2/2 halfling citizen. Whenever 1 or more halflings you control attack a player, create a food token. D.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
D, and honestly, I don't care.
Just above Bill.
Above Bill's fine.
There we go. I get the other Mary. Mary Esquire Rohan.
Damn it, Ryan gets the
Boros.
Planeswalker.
Just Boros for a 2/2 halfling knight with haste. He has first strike as long as he's equipped. Whenever you attack with Mary and another legendary, you draw a card. C. Decent C.
Is C
I would say
above
most likely gonna
Elrond,
have
below
another.
Frodo?
Sure.
I think middle ground is definitely
Because he will draw you card. More likely he will.
yep.
And
All right.
Ryan, you got the other one?
Yeah, I get another Planeswalker. Watch, I'm gonna get Tasha. I guarantee it. All right, next Planeswalker.
Spoiler
up
warning,
is-
Tasha.
Yeah. Next Planeswalker up is Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes. 2 red and a green for a 3 loyalty Planeswalker, Minsk. When Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes enters the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may create Boo, a legendary 1/1 red hamster creature token with trample and haste. +1, you can put 3 1/1 counters on up to 1 target creature with trample or haste. -2, sack a creature. When you do, Minsk and Boo Timeless Heroes deals X damage to any target where X is that creature's power. If the sacrificed creature was a hamster, draw X cards.
S above Frodo.
yeah.
S.
He's so
S.
strong
There's
for no
no-
reason. God
Yep.
damn it, Matt Mercer.
Yeah, he's really good. Card advantage, damage,
S.
makes his
Yeah.
relevant creature.
Honestly, those counters don't even need to be put on Boo.
No.
Nope.
It's so good for no reason. I say
I-
damn you, Matt Mercer, not because we're a D&D channel, much like Critical Role, but because Matt Mercer voices Minsk in Baldur's Gate 3.
Which is hilarious.
Got it.
Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. We keep continuing on with Baldur's Gate. We're talking
we
about
have a few Baldur's Gate.
I think this is a little appropriate because this was almost my commander for last year, actually. And it's Miracle Lord of Bones. 4 white, black, green for a 7/5 god. Just god. As long as your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, Miracle Lord of Bones has Indestructible. If your life total is 15 or lower, he has Indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's an enchantment and loses all other card types. B.
I mean,
Solid B.
Solid B.
You thinking
Relevant
like what?
body. He's a little high on the cost.
I say
We
below
thinking
Colors,
Aowen.
too.
So like middle ground, basically.
Yeah.
I think I'd actually rather have Bilbo.
I mean, Bilbo. So like, I think.
Yeah. I mean, 7 mana is a big ask.
7 mana is a
Yeah.
huge ask. And Elminster can miss on his abilities. So like if you
Yeah.
don't know the top of your deck and just like you're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
just praying to make a ton of blockers, play him and exile it,
3
and it's a
colors is
land. The 3 colors is really nice though. And
Yeah.
if you've got some static and ETB effects, they're gonna be very strong with his ability. So I think because its ceiling is so high, I think he's good where he's at.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think he's low B. Definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can agree with that. All right. Next card.
All right. Another continuing on Baldur's Gate. Nira, Wild Mage. 4 green or 4 blue red as it for a 2/7. So another big butt. Legendary creature, human elf shaman. Whenever you cast a spell, you may put it on the bottom of your library. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the rest of on the bottom of your library in a random order. Triggers only once a turn.
I know she's 2 colors. I'm almost willing to put her in D though.
Her randomness is really.
Chaos is normally going to be very fun. In this
And
format
I'm
where you're
all
not
for it.
really going to have that many good cards, it's actually just going to be a detriment.
You don't have to do the chaos. It's always
You
a may.
don't.
2/7 is irrelevant, butt type.
Yeah,
It
you're very
is
solid.
We
relevant.
blocker.
stand thick women's in this channel.
I'm willing
She's
to
a
go
6
C.
mana.
I
I would say low C because she's
yeah,
2
I'm willing
colors.
to
She
go
has a
C.
relevant body, but her strategy is very iffy.
Above
Yes.
Above
Elrond,
Galadriel.
above Elrond,
Definitely.
below Mary.
Sure,
Okay,
that sounds
Yeah,
about right.
I'll
I
take
think
it.
that's fair.
Take it.
Plus, pink hair is really cool.
Shout out to my girlfriend with this next one.
Yeah. Next up, we have Nine Fingers Keen. 1 black, green, and blue for a 4/4 human rogue with menace, ward, pay 9 life. And whenever Nine Fingers Keen deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 9 cards of your library. You may put a gate card from among them onto the battlefield. Then, if you control 9 or more gates, put the rest into your hand. Otherwise, put the rest in your bottom of your library in a random order. C. Mainly for her colors and the ward ability.
So argument
C? No,
against,
Low
because
C,
I know
I'm
I
saying
know you're
low
gonna
C.
say B. I know you're saying B at least.
very least.
Argument against it. When the hell are you gonna have 9 gates?
My thing for B is 3 colors, 4 mana,
In-
4/4 with
in
menace,
one
and
of
a
the-
huge ward. She's not getting removed ever.
Unless it's like a board wipe or something.
Yeah,
Unless it's
but
board
if
wipe.
your
And no
opponents
one
have
cares
got,
about the gate part, but just the relevant body and 3 colors.
I think the
B,
biggest
solid
part
for me.
I think the part for me is the fact that like you are looking at that card and only one ability is truly what's sending it. That's not worth it. Because
I got
all that's going to
2
happen is if
really
you do
relevant
Swinger,
abilities.
what's going to happen is you may as well just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, shuffle them under the table and put them on the bottom of my library because you're almost never going to hit a gate.
That's fine. I'm not even worried about that ability. I like the rest of her.
The three color being
willing
available
to
in
put her
Sultai.
At high C, like above Gimli, like highest of C. I cannot, in good faith, put her in B.
Okay.
I guess I had to be the mitigator here.
If I'm outvoted, I'm outvoted. I do agree that the ward cost is
not mitigator, mediator.
She may as well have hexproof for her ward cost.
Okay, so the Ward 9 life we agree. Like that is absolutely absurd if you got her.
Menace is a relevant evasion keyword.
Yep.
But her damage ability, the biggest reason you would take her is just never going to work.
It's not a May ability. Like we do get like 2 packs of Baldur's Gate. So there are chances that you or your opponents will get gates and everything. So you have a little bit more of a chance that if you can trade and everything. So you're not going to hit every time with it, but the potential is there. I won't disagree with that. And the argument of the color combo she's in, Sultai is not a pushover of her color, like at all. In that sense, you have green, which is your ramp.
I played Sultai last year and lost to a mono red deck.
I cannot speak for your personal experience on that.
I had Zimone and Dina as a very different deck.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can.
All right, y'all. You know what? It was relented to me for Faramir in A. I'll relent to her. Low B though. Like I will only really accept above Elminster or above Miracle.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Okay.
We can meet the agreement there. You see that, honey? Your commander made it all the way to B. OG
and the fact that I actually argued for it.
You're right. OG the Exquisite Blade. 2 white and a blue for a 2/3 human monk. When it enters, you gain 2 life and scry 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. This is high C.
They're a solid card.
Yeah, OG is very, very versatile, and very solid.
The big thing would be you cast your second spell and flicker this thing, allowing you to gain 2 life and scry 2.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. We thinking above Gandalf? We thinking
definitely at least above Gandalf.
Legolas, I think.
You think above Legolas?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Definitely.
All right. Oh, that is another Lord of the Rings card, isn't it?
That is Old Man Willow.
Old Man Willow, 2 black and green for a star tree folk. Old Man Willow's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control, so it's at least probably going to be 4/4. Whenever he attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or a token. When you do, target creature and opponent controls get -2/-2 until end of turn. Solid C.
Solid C. Probably also above Legolas.
Sure, yeah. He's in good colors. He's going to be powerful. You get to sack a thing. You can probably get rid of the little tiny things that are around.
Black-green does do a lot of food recently, and he just says sacrifice a token, not necessarily a creature token.
Creature token, yeah.
So turn your foods and bloods and clues and treasures into removal. It's very relevant.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right. Another halfling. Pippin.
There's a lot of them.
This one's gonna be contention.
Yeah, Pippin, guard of the Citadel, white and a blue, 2/2 halfling soldier with vigilance and ward 1, and it has tap another target creature you control gains protection from the card type of your choice until end of turn.
That is relevant as hell.
That's a really good.
Yeah,
honestly,
colors I can't stand.
Yeah. Azorius is very evasive, unfortunately.
Is he?
He's A.
He's A?
Yeah.
Argument for S, honestly.
The fact that the only reason I say no S is because he really needs something else to make it push over the top.
Which is fair.
Because he doesn't protect Yeah, he doesn't protect
He
himself.
does say another target. If he said target creature you control, I would argue S as
So
well.
I would put him below Faramir, so another Azorius.
You know what? I'm willing to say
Aragorn,
I'm
too.
willing to say lowest of A because he cannot work on his own technically.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Man, it
He's
hurts that
definitely
there's two Azorius commanders in A. Bleh.
One of them almost made S.
Eh,
There we go.
not while I'm around.
Peregrine Took. Throw us into the wilderness yourself next time. Run off of your stupidity. 2 and a green for a 2/3 halfling citizen. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. Sacrifice 3 foods, draw a card. Welcome to D.
Pretty good
Yeah.
D, though.
Pretty good D.
There's going to be a lot of token generation in this format, and
Yeah.
that's card draw.
I would say
So,
above
let's see.
Fangorn.
Yeah.
Middle of C
fair.
feels perfect for him. No,
Okay.
Fangorn, not Gothmog.
Fangorn, sorry, hang on.
Dead
Refresh my memory.
middle. Between the tree and
So,
the bird.
Yep,
Yeah,
sorry.
sure.
I don't know the legendary creatures for Lord of the Rings that well.
Sadly, I do.
Right.
That's why
Alright.
that's why I was very happy when we did alphabetical order last time.
Yeah, it's been a little all over the place right now. All right.
It's just easier sometimes.
Prince Emrahir the Fair.
This one.
White and blue for a 2/2 human noble. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 white human creature.
C and kinda high.
C, pretty decent. I
C.
would put him below Frodo.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
Drawing your second
'cause,
card
like-
in this format is going to be kind of tough, but drawing your second card makes you a body.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
I
bad.
can agree with that. All right.
All right.
Here we go. So next up is Quick Beam Upstart Ent. 4 green and green for a 5/6 tree folk. Whenever Quick Beam or another tree folk enters the battlefield under your control, up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. D, unfortunately, because it's too restrictive. He cares about tree folk mainly, and you're not guaranteed to have a lot.
D and lower end of D, just above Bill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he's
No
just
one likes
too
Bill.
way. No.
I am
Dude,
so
jerk.
sorry because this commander has such potential, but is definitely not getting there. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
only have one request for this list. Y'all know who I absolutely 1000% want to read.
No, I don't. Who
You
could it be?
might get him.
I might get him, but we'll go with it right now.
Uh,
And it is Radagast the Brown. 2 green for a 2/5 avatar wizard. Whenever Radagast the Brown or another non-token creature enters under your control, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that creature's mana value. You may reveal a creature card that doesn't share a creature type with a creature you control from among those cards, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If he did not say that shares a type with creatures you control, he'd honestly be higher D, but I think he's just middle of the ground.
There's going to be a lot of different creature types, though.
I know. I don't think he's never going to work. I just think there is going to be times he whiffs.
I would
And
say
that's going to feel bad.
Yeah, I would say middle. I think middle ground.
Above,
not-
I'd say above Gothmog.
Above Gothmog. That's what I was
Perfect.
going to say.
Above
Perfect.
There we
Gothmog.
go. Above
There you go.
Gothmog.
Yep.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it has potential. It absolutely has
We
potential.
used it. All right.
Oh God. I just realized
Bill,
what
you
my,
want the bad news? You know who
What's
gets
that?
Sauron?
is it geek?
It's me.
It's you. Trade me. Please.
I will relent Sauron.
Unless
for you.
someone does Gandalf White Rider in between here, then it would shift.
Yes, it will.
We'll do the White Rider after Saruman.
All right. We've got Raphael, Fiendish Savior, 3 black, red for a 4/4 Devil Noble with flying. Other demons, devils, imps, and tieflings you control get 1/1 and lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature card is put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target.
C and kind of high
C.
C.
I'd put him
Yeah.
middle just because you're
Well-
not guaranteed to get those other things. but
I'd
he's-
put him above Legolas.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that. He is a 4/4 flying body, and he does make the relevant creature type.
and from anywhere. So if people are milling
That's
you
true.
for whatever reason, you get it.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds good.
Okay. Now we finally get back into Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is Rasad in Bashir. 2 and a white for a 0/3 human monk, and each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Whenever Rasad attacks, if you have the initiative, double the toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Choose a background.
First one back with background.
Yeah, first. Yeah, that's
So
true.
the background he wants to be with is Dungeon Delver.
Yeah.
I just did finger guns at the camera. But which puts him in white blue. There are a lot of big butt creatures in white blue. The problem is you have to get the initiative some way, and it's tough. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, and once it's introduced, especially if it's introduced by another player, that makes him stand out twice as much. There's also an argument for him being, raised by giants. Master Chef.
Raised by giants is pretty good.
Master Chef also makes him very relevant.
Because you make a raised by giants, he makes him a 10/13. Like if you were to be able to get the initiative somehow,
No, it would make him a 10/10. It's base power and toughness 10.
Okay. Still not nothing.
No, it's still not nothing.
You
Especially
basically find a way. You basically find a way to give him counters, and now you have if you are able to somehow obtain the initiative and you swing at someone, you can literally one shot.
Oh yeah,
which is definitely not nothing. So he's got flexibility, but you really are banking on the backgrounds.
Yeah.
So I say, I would say low C. Low C, high D. Unfortunately, it's just it is a gamble with him.
Above Butterbur.
With the dependency on the background, I'd put him at the lowest of C.
Yeah,
I'll accept that.
I
can absolutely accept that.
If he wasn't himself so dependent on the background, I would argue a little higher on the tier, but that dependency on the background really hinders.
This is going to be an interesting conversation. It's Raga Draga, Gorgot's boss. 2 red and a green for a 4/4 human boar. Each creature you control with a mana ability gets +2/+2. Whenever a creature you control with a mana ability attacks, untap it. Whenever you cast a spell, if at least 7 mana was spent to cast it, untap target creature. It gets +7/+7 and gains trample until end of turn. Yikes. Yikes.
Raga Draga is...
There are a lot of creatures that have mana abilities. There's a couple Lord of the Rings that can be pulled. There's a couple in there, there's some in MH3. Like out of these sets, there's a lot in Bloomburrow.
Bloomburrow really helps it.
Honestly, I would.
And you are guaranteed 2 Bloomburrow. You're guaranteed, the Lord of the Rings one. So I mean,
honestly, I think he's higher C.
High C, definitely.
Yeah, agreed.
I wouldn't put him at the very tippy top. I'd probably put him
above OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
honestly,
even if you don't get the rest of it, if you spend enough mana on a big spell, something gets 7/7 to trample. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
he becomes 11/11.
That is exactly that is nothing to like.
That is hella relevant.
All right, I like this one. Rilsa Riel, Kingpin, 3 blue-black for a 2/5 human rogue with Death Touch. When she enters the battlefield, take the initiative. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gains Death Touch until end of turn. If you've completed a dungeon, that creature also gets +5/+0, gains First Strike and Menace until end of turn. I like her because she gives you the initiative. So that's the first time we're having a commander that does it.
The initiative's built into her, which is great. Like so, that already gives her points up.
I like her because also she doesn't need anything else in our card pool to do her thing.
Yep.
No, yeah, she does.
So I would almost say she's a good low B.
I would put her above Bilbo.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly,
maybe even above Aowen.
I could see her above Aowen.
She has Death Touch. Nobody's blocking her. Well, not many.
Not
No.
many, unless
And
someone's
at a
just swiping away down.
2/5, you
Yeah.
want to keep her back as just as a giant
As a
blocker.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like even
I
then,
like her.
that's
I like her a lot.
I agreed. She's resilient. She's does what you want her to do. Like
She's gonna get you the initiative. She has a good chance of keeping you the initiative.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
And then if you get that dungeon done, whew,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, then it starts getting. Then you just start going off.
Yep.
All right.
all right, right.
Up next is Safana, Calimport Cutthroat. 2 and a black for a 3/2 human rogue with menace. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, create a treasure token. Create 3 of those tokens instead if you completed a dungeon, and has choose a background.
If you can get her with Rilsa, whew,
Oh yeah,
So good.
we said that. Yeah, we when we looked at those two when we were looking at like before we were gonna record this video, like so like last week we were looking at these two.
Oh yeah.
You get Safana and Rilsa and look
Dungeon
out.
Delver. Magical Christmas Land. You get Rilsa, Safana, Dungeon Delver in your pool.
Yeah, honestly.
Gross. So good.
Yeah.
With
Unlikely,
Safana,
but you know,
Safana, thankfully, is not hugely dependent. Well, actually, she is dependent on the initiative. So as a commander,
C.
depending on the back, yeah, as a commander, I would say C. Again,
There's quite a
she
few
is kinda
backgrounds she can
heavily-
work with.
Yes, but I believe she is also just kind of falls in the same
she's
situation like
just a
Prasad.
3/2 with menace.
She's
You get
very
like raised by
dependent.
giants. She's a 10/10 menace.
Oh yeah,
If you
Um,
get Master Chef, she starts coming with counters. Now she's a 4/3
Yep.
with menace.
Yeah.
So,
Noble
what are we
Noble
thinking?
Heritage can start turning her into like a 5/4 and then like a
Mhm.
7/5. Like it, you know,
I'd put her
Yeah.
above Nira, definitely.
above Nira. I'd accept right above
Yeah,
Nira,
definitely
right below
above Nira.
Mary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rosie Cotton of South Lane. 2 and a white for a 1/1. When Rosie Halfling Peasant, when Rosie Cotton enters, create a food token. Whenever you create a token, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than Rosie. D. Low D, put her above Bill.
There's a lot of tokens in this format.
Is
so.
is
The
that
problem
the
is-
recurring?
The problem is as a commander.
Yes.
Is that the recurring joke for us?
Bill will be
Yes.
last.
Bill will be last. Oh.
As a man who has the name Bill, I don't care. He's last.
Fair.
All right.
This.
Deathbringer. 3 and a black for a 3/4 human knight at the beginning of each player's end step. If no permanents left the battlefield this turn, that player loses X life, where X is his power. Choose a background.
Obviously, the best background for him is raised by giants.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Of course.
Because if at the beginning of your end step, no permanents left the battlefield, the person loses 10 life.
In a 30 health format.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be incredibly relevant.
I think he works with a lot of them. He just needs
He does.
power is fine.
Oh, yeah.
Raised by Giants obviously is the best one you want to get with him. But even then, like there are so many
There's a
you
few
can
other
There's
work
buffs
with.
actually
on your turn.
Sword Coast Sailor is actually a really relevant one, too, because it says when he attacks, if he attacks a person who has the most life, then
Can't
he
be
becomes
blocked.
unblockable. So you just chip away at them, and then he's
Yeah.
still just ducking them down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Honestly, since he's very versatile, you could argue high B, maybe low A.
I mean, Tavern Brawl would be really good for him.
I think I think the problem is he has to be in 2 colors for you to get the relevant things to make him work.
True.
And so if you got
Definitely
like,
B.
I say I'm
I'd say
okay with
high
B.
Sorry.
C. I'd say highest of C. He definitely has
So-
more potential than Gimli.
Yeah,
Well, I keep saying
Like, that's-
Gimli, but
it's semantics.
yeah, I think his absolute potential. If you can get the right setup, he
Oh, yeah,
arguably
he
an A. But
Yeah.
I think
It
just
is
as
very
is,
dependent on that.
right?
So it's the same thing. Like I get where you're coming from. It's basically kind of the same thing like we said with all the other commander can choose a background. It is very dependent that you are lucky enough to either you pull it or your opponents are nice enough to trade it to you. Because let's be honest, not everyone at Commander Shield is going to be willing to trade, even if they don't need it. They will be like, no, you like, I want to win. This helps you, and it'll hinder me, so I'm not trading it. But that's just how some people are. Some people are just stingy.
Yep,
It'll happen.
So, yeah. All right. This is very fitting. I'm getting the blue cards because I am the blue wizard here. Next card up is Saruman the White.
He should be a white
blue.
card.
Yeah, it was a choice. That was a choice. 4 and a blue for a 4/4 Avatar Wizard. Ward 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass Orcs 2. Honestly,
he's not white because this is the point in the story when he's started scheming with Sauron.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just explaining it. That's all.
Just a silly
yeah. I still say D.
He has to be D.
A decent D though, because
above
you
Legolas,
are more than likely going to cast a second spell, and
I would say above
decent-sized creature.
Yeah, I would say above Legolas.
Sure.
Like honestly.
Alrighty. Renari, Merchant of Marvels, 3 and a blue for a 2/4 Dragon Artificer. You may cast dragon spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. Choose a background. C, just because you're most likely gonna have 2 colors. I think the fact that he has artifacts puts him up a little bit higher than he probably would be.
So are we saying
I'd say above
there. I say above Rashad.
I'll accept that. That's fine.
Yeah, I think above Rashad.
If you can get him blue red or blue green, there's dragons in those colors.
True.
Oh, very
Not
true.
guaranteed to get them though.
This is true.
Normally dragons are rare, so
yeah,
harder to get to.
Oh boy, here we go.
Sauron, the Necromancer. 3 black.
Go for it.
What's that?
I was gonna make a comment, but I'll wait till you're done reading. Obviously.
3 black for a 4/4 Avatar Horror with Menace. Whenever Sauron attacks, exile target creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black wraith with Menace. At the beginning of the next end step, exile that token unless Sauron is your ring bearer. Still D, but really cool. Really good.
There's honestly an argument for C. He'd be below Rashad, but
I could see that, yeah. I mean, he brings back anything.
Now, the problem is it is a 3/3. But if you've got like
bad thing, if it's a 1/1 that you're bringing back with a relevant ability.
Oh yeah.
Imagine you're bringing back Gothmog.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah, I would say, I can agree with low C.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Perfect.
Our first monocolored C.
Good job, Sauron. The way to be the evil Dark Lord we all know you are.
Yep.
So, just to confirm this, Ryan is going to read Gandalf White Rider after Geek reads Saruman.
I mean, if you want, yeah, because
sure,
yeah,
because I don't know why. Again, unfortunately I don't know why Gandalf White Rider wouldn't appear, but
yeah,
I'm curious about something real quick. Hang on. So if we go, I'm going to just check something real quick. So Samwise, now we got Sauron, middle one, Strider. I'm just checking. I would not have gotten.
Are you trying to see if you're gonna get Tasha?
I was checking. As of right now, if we left it as is, you would get Tasha, Geek.
Got it.
All right, but joking aside, back on track now. So next up is Samwise the Stout-Hearted. 1 and a white for a 2/1 halfling peasant with flash. When Samwise enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard and that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand. Then the ring tempts you. D.
Put him right next to Rosie.
Sounds like a plan. There are a couple, so it makes sense.
There are a couple.
Good lord.
Yeah, not surprised, honestly.
Nah, me neither.
Saradoc, Master of Buckland. 3 and a white for a 2/4 halfling citizen. Whenever Saradoc, Master of Buckland, or another non-token creature with power 2 or less enters the battle. Ooh, excuse me. Enters the battlefield under your control. Create a 1/1 white halfling creature token. Tap 2 other untapped halflings you control. Saradoc gets +2/+0 and gains a lifelink until end of turn. Pippin's father definitely showed up to the show.
Mariadoc's father.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Whoopsie.
I mean, still
He's deep, but higher up there.
Sure.
The ability
there's
to
a lot
make
of creatures
token-
with that little.
He comes in with a 1/1 himself, at the very least.
Yeah.
So like
so you're thinking how like middle
There's a
ground.
lot of
above
two
his
or
son.
ones.
Mary
help me out
in,
here.
in the D row, right below Glorfindel. There you go.
There you go.
Is that fair?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, again, I'm not arguing. I'm just like,
All right.
I don't remember the names.
No. You're good.
All right. Saruman of many colors. 3 white, blue, black for a 5/4 Avatar Wizard with ward. Discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. That's pretty relevant ward cost.
Yes, it is.
Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. When 1 or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant, or sorcery card with equal or lesser mana value than that spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exiled card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. That's a lot of text.
That's a lot of text for realistically, honestly, kinda S.
S?
So your second spell each turn is
Yes.
difficult. He does not care what your kind of spell is, right?
No.
So he can trigger. He will just get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. I don't actually think S. Probably A. You're in 3
Low
colors. Low. Yeah, realistically low A.
I can get,
Honestly, I put him above Pippin.
Yeah, extra color.
Yes,
yeah.
with the extra. I think
You
the extra
can
card
give you
does
some
give
good
him
value.
He's
Yeah.
going to give you good value. The one
ability.
time he goes off when your opponents are least expecting it and he gets something big out of somebody's graveyard, it's going to be backbreaking. And you're going to be jumping with joy.
Sure.
Right?
All right, Ryan, you're going to read Gandalf the White Rider then?
Yes.
And I
so again,
appreciate you
Even though we don't
both
have
of
a
you.
picture for it.
I appreciate both of
Yeah.
you.
I still to this is gonna drive me nuts until like I don't know why his picture would not appear. Regardless, but so yes, Gandalf White Rider, 3 and a white, for a 3/3 Avatar Wizard with Vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 once on a turn. Scry 1. When Gandalf White Rider dies, you may put it into its owner's library, 5th from the top. I mean, even though he's
Honestly,
mono white,
he might be C.
See, with like right
C.
behind Sauron, I think.
Yeah.
yeah,
He doesn't care what spell
So-
you cast. Like you made that. We talked a little bit about that before, and yeah, I think he could go and.
Yeah.
All right, Scruffy,
I'm sorry, what are we doing? So
you're doing the one you wanted.
let's talk about, and let's just be honest, arguably the strongest commander for Commander Sealed in general. Sauron the Dark Lord is 3 blue, black, red for a 7/6 Avatar horror. With ward, sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass Orcs 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. There's no
S.
talking about it. He's
There's
S and he's the
S.
highest of S.
Yes,
He's now
everything's relevant.
hilariously enough, there is argument to be made that Minsk and Boo are a little bit stronger than he is. Mainly because you can sacrifice Boo, a token, to get around Sauron's ward cost.
True.
But arguably, you don't want to get rid of Boo. It's one of the biggest
No.
benefits of being able to play both Minsk and Boo in the command
Yep.
zone. Sauron just doing things on other people's turns and incredibly hard to deal with ward costs. An ability to
He's big.
continue to draw cards, and he's massive.
Yeah.
He's not only an S rank.
If you pull him, you play him.
Yeah, if you pull him and you
absolutely.
don't play him, I actually may think you have problems. Or you just hate
Trusting they jump over
Grixis.
the table.
I will find you in
I
the
mean-
hall and I will throw
Okay.
you out the door.
mind you, obviously, like these are our just
These are
to the
just our
listeners and
opinions.
everything, these are our opinions. If you're under Commander Shield and you want to play what you have an idea in mind who you want to play, then play it. Have fun.
Right.
Live your life.
Is Sauron 6 mana? Yes. But he's also a 7/6. He trades.
He's worth every mana of that.
He's
Oh,
worth
yeah, as soon
every
as he-
mana.
Exactly. As soon as he hits the freaking hits the field, oh man.
It's just.
It's like, oh Lord, he a coming.
Oh Lord, he coming.
All right. Samwise Gamgee, green and white for a 2/2 halfling peasant. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, make a food. Sack 3 foods. Return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Solid B for me because
B.
Yeah.
I can
he makes
agree
the
with B.
token for basically any of your creatures coming in, and he can return something interesting.
Yeah,
He's good.
He's definitely like middle of the road commander. Definitely like, but he's reliable. I can agree. B. We thinking like middle ground, or what we
I'd say
thinking?
below Rilsa, above Eowyn, just because he recur things.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think
And
that's
he
fair.
can gain you a lot of life with all that food.
All right. Oh, sweet. I get my
Hey.
girl. Up next is Shadowheart, Dark Justiciar. 3 and a black for a 3/4 human elf cleric with 1 and a black. Tap, sacrifice another creature, draw X cards where X is that creature's power, and choose a background. Honestly, B. I think B with her. Like for Shadowheart.
My biggest problem with her is you need to get the relevant background for her, which immediately does take me down a peg for her. There is.
I would say like there are relevant. Obviously, there are a few relevant backgrounds. I do like the fact that she can draw you cards. Yes, it's 2 mana, but if you sack 2 mana, sack a 2/2, draw 2 cards.
Yeah. I mean that is
The
relevant.
built-in card draw really like that. Like I say,
Is
I
it
would
the
say
creature's mana value? I thought it was their power.
It's the power.
power.
Is their power. So
That's what I
she's
said,
really
like,
good.
yeah.
She's really good with something like Noble Heritage or which will put her in white black. She's really good with Master Chef, which is going to make your other creatures enter with counters, making them stronger. Benji the Brewer did her with Aspiring Leader. So if you can get that and make creature tokens, that's actually really relevant.
So
you
I'll
know
say
what?
this.
I sold
I say-
myself on it. I could see B.
Okay.
Low B.
Low B.
Yeah,
Probably
I would say
below
low B. I'm
Elements.
not-
Very low.
Yeah, because like she just like the other choose background commanders, she is a little hindered by getting the right background.
Yes.
But she does have points again, like with the built-in card draw either way. Like she still can run. It's just if you pull her and you decide to play her, you just hope you get the right background.
Yeah.
That's the main issue.
I think this might be the first 2-color. Well, no, we haven't put any 2-color legendaries in D. This one might have been the first. This is Shagrat, Loot Bearer. 2 black and a red for a 4/4 orc soldier. Whenever Shagrat attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to it. Then amass Orc's X, where X is the number of equipment attached to Shagrat. I literally just realized that he does not see the word you control.
Yeah, he steals.
Holy crap.
Changing your opinion, I'm assuming?
S. No.
Still C. for
Still
me.
C, but actually higher C. If your opponents just happen to make equipment,
I'd put him above Butterbur.
I can accept that.
Sorry, Butterbur.
He's
I
also
mean, stealing the equipment is pretty good. That's not
Yes.
he's also a 4 mana 4/4. Shagrat's the guy who
almost done.
takes the mithril coat.
Yep.
And drop kicks that orc down a flight of stairs.
True.
Yeah.
True. All right. Shadowfax, Lord of Horses. 3 red and white for a 4/4 horse. Horses you control have haste. And of course, the text on the card shows you the meaning of haste. Whenever Shadowfax attacks, you may put a creature card with lesser power from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. A solid C for me because of that.
He's definitely a C.
Yeah.
you're not going to get many other horses in the
That's
in your
not his.
pools,
Yeah,
but
he gets the haste, and that's all.
yeah.
But honestly,
But
cheating
the
a creature into
fact-
play is a very powerful ability.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say, honestly, let's see.
I would put him above Frodo.
Yeah, honestly, like, because like he's not a small creature at all,
Yeah.
too. Like he's
beefly.
okay.
right.
Next, this dude, Sharky, Tyrant of the Shire, 2 blue and a black for a 2/4 Avatar Rogue. Activated abilities of land your opponent's control can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Sharky has all activated abilities of land your opponent's control except mana abilities, and mana of any type can be spent to activate Sharky's abilities. Good lord.
So it's C because you get 2 colors, but like the lowest of C.
The
I
lowest of C.
put him below Sauron.
Yeah.
I will say if he does, I'm trying to think of like what lands your opponents could get that would be worth it for you to have as an ability.
Some of the like the legendary lands in
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose.
Yeah, you do have like stuff like Minas Tirith and everything, stuff like that.
Not a
Mount
lot.
Doom.
Sivrus, Nightmare Speaker. 3 and a black for a 3/3 Snake Cleric Warlock. Tap. Sacrifice another creature or an artifact. For each opponent, you mill a card. Then return that card from your graveyard to your hand unless that player pays 3 life. Choose a background. Obviously, the best ability for him to be teamed up with is, I think it's the Hermit one, the one that makes squirrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you'll mill these cards, and if your opponents just don't happen to pay the 3 life, it comes back. It still went into your graveyard, so you'll still make squirrels off of it, which he can then sacrifice to keep going through that ability. I think, honestly, just the ability to be able to get cards off of your creatures means he can actually do pretty well in C. I honestly kind of put him above Shagrat.
Yeah.
So here.
Sure.
Okie dokie.
I've got on the other end of the spectrum Skanos, Dragonheart. 4 and green for a 4/4 Dragon Ranger. Whenever he attacks, he gets +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other dragons you control and dragon cards in your graveyard. Choose a background. There's not much to me that's gonna make him any good. Put him at high D just because you might get a 2-color.
Yeah. Like that's really the only thing he's got going for him.
If he
I'd
gets
even
the
put him
one,
below Arkenbrand and Gimli and Galadriel and Lobelia.
honestly, the only reason I would say this
Yeah.
is because there's the red background that if a source deals 5 or more damage who you control at your end step, make a dragon, and then that starts making
that's
him stronger.
One color.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
So no, I agree. Like it sucks because dragons are one of my favorite creature types in the game. If I can make this guy viable in sealed, I would run him, but it's just there's not enough.
Nah.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but yeah, he's high D, like, but you got so many better choices unless you are super unlucky. I mean, super unlucky.
Our third gosh darn golem.
Yeah,
I love this one though. Really do.
Yeah,
This one we could talk about. This one's
good. Yeah, this one's actually there's a fair argument for it. Smeagol, helpful guide, 1 black and a green for a 4/2 halfling horror. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped under your control, and the rest into their graveyard.
Very, very, very strong.
It's strong because 1, you're stealing a land from your opponent, and they don't get the other cards back. They go right to the graveyard. Like, it is dependent on having a creature die on your turn, and you have to control the creature.
Not tough though.
You can always get other ring tempting.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
is also true.
Absolutely.
If you pull a Nazgul though,
If you pull a Nazgul.
I did a plane theme deck with
he's-
him as the commander with a bunch of Nazgul, and it was
I
really
can't
good.
see him any lower than B.
I think he's in the C, middle of
You
the
think
C,
so?
maybe. He's dependent on some stuff. He could
is.
be good. He does
And he's a-
ramp you essentially, but
Yeah,
I would say
still dependent
above
on things.
Raphael.
Sure.
I'm okay. I'm willing to go with. I
Above
can-
Raphael. Because you're in black
I'm
green.
willing to
Black green's a strong
relinquish
color
that.
combination. And again, there is ring tempting stuff just in
Oh, yeah.
black that you could get from Lord of the Rings. And creatures dying in Golgari. Oh no, it's almost like they need to breathe.
All right.
This guy might be a uncommon that gets up pretty high on the list. This is Strider, Ranger of the North. Had I been able to do this list my way, this guy would have been up with Aragorn, because this is Aragorn. Strider, Ranger of the North, is 2 red and a green for a 4/4 human ranger. He has landfall. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Then if that creature is power 4 or greater, it gains first strike until end of turn. Land falls whenever a land enters under your control.
Yep.
Very relevant, very strong ability. That
Yes.
he can make himself a 5/5 with first strike. He can make your other creatures just as powerful. They only need to be power 4 to gain that first strike ability. He's low mana cost. Honestly, B, maybe even A.
Solid B.
We thinking highest of B, or what do we think?
I like him better than AON, less than Samwise. Or above Samwise, but less than Rilsa.
Okay.
That's me.
Counterpoint. The biggest thing that Rilsa has going for her is Death Touch, but if you have First Strike, her Death Touch doesn't do anything.
That's true.
Fair. So we saying?
Show him up there.
Okay.
Get the king closer.
I think that's fair.
Aragorn, strong showing.
Yeah.
Real strong showing. Granted, this is through arguments with me, because I'm a butthead, but
No, but
All right. The Balrog. Durin's Bane. 5 black red for a 7/5 Avatar Demon. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn, in a format with food and treasures and clues and blood. Okay. He has haste. And he cannot be blocked except by legendary creatures.
Yikes!
And when he dies, destroy target artifact or creature and opponent controls.
yep.
A.
Yikes!
A.
A.
High A.
Easily high A.
He's gonna
Uh,
come down easily.
We thinking
I think below
Well-
Lotho. I think Lotho comes
Below
out
Lotho
so
because of that.
soon
Yeah.
that the value is just.
Well,
I mean,
is it just?
you
for-
don't have to be the one sacrificing the thing, by the way.
Ooh.
He's just cheap. If
Yeah,
anybody
but
sacrifices
Here's the thing: is if your opponents know that the Balrog is like, if they see the Balrog
Yeah.
in your zone, they're gonna be less likely to sack things. So
True.
I think keeping him below Lotho but above Saruman,
Yeah. I
that
would not be
can't-
sad
Agree with
they
that.
pull him.
that can't be blocked by anything except
By-
legendary creatures is entirely relevant.
all right.
Really good. Really good.
This is
I
another. This is
Like a
another one
Baldur's
that might
Gate
be.
for you.
this why I'm gonna have an argument for A on this one.
I actually think you're right.
So up next is the Council of 4, 3 white and a blue for a 0/8 human
Yeah,
noble.
big butt.
Very
Huge
big butt.
ass.
That's 2.
Oh, ass is not a curse.
Yes, it is.
They allow it on the
No, it's
radio. No,
not.
it's not.
Eh,
Continue.
regardless, whenever a player draws their second card during their turn, you draw a card. Whenever a player casts their second spell during their turn, you create a 2/2 white knight creature token. This A. Like,
A.
it is A.
Geek's so upset because another Azorius. Azorius
Yo.
and Orzhov are just running away with this for no reason.
I hate that it's an A.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
like-
all agreeing A. The question is, where at in A?
Above Saruman.
Yeah, I could agree
Honestly,
with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I would
I'm
even
okay
be
with
willing
that.
to put them above the Balrog for one reason. They can block the Balrog and not die
And not kill the Balrog.
and not
Let's
kill the
call it that.
Balrog. It's just... It's,
Fine.
it's so
Fine,
stupid. No, they
whatever.
can say where they're at because it's very contingent upon what they do, and people are absolutely going to be like, "I'm not giving you that much value removal."
Yeah.
It's so
Oh, you get the good one.
it's so stupid. Yeah, the good one. This is the Balrog Flame of Undun. The Balrog Flame of Undun is 3 black and a red for a 7/7 Avatar Demon with Trample. Whenever a legendary creature an opponent controls dies, put the Balrog Flame of Undun on the bottom of its owner's library. See,
It's 5 mana for a 7/7 with trample, though.
it's relevant. I suppose. See, definitely. 5 mana 7/7 is relevant.
See,
Yeah,
But
I think
where?
there. I think above Renari.
yeah,
Above. Okay.
sure.
It's,
Here's a commander. I definitely can say like put an argument.
oh,
for.
I got another like weird ass commander after that one. Sorry, go ahead.
Here we go.
This is gonna be an interesting
We got the
conversation.
King Theoden of Rohan. 1 red white for a 2/3 human noble. Whenever he or another human enters the battlefield under control, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. That's like better than Orc and Brand, definitely.
Mm.
I would say better than Mary in the sea, definitely.
Really, I was thinking B. Your argument earlier was there are a lot of humans.
There are a lot of humans.
I would say if B, lowest of B. But if C,
Yeah.
maybe even
I would
highest
put
of C.
I would put him above Shadowheart if in B, because she's very dependent on her background. He does not care about that.
Yeah, he just
True.
needs humans.
He does, yeah. So
I say B.
I can agree.
Good job,
So,
Theoden.
Good job.
We're so close to the end.
Getting
We're
there.
so close to the
I
end.
miscounted. I'm getting Tasha.
Damn it. Got all the planeswalkers.
Yeah, you are. You are getting Tasha. Which means had we not changed, Geek would have gotten Tasha. Yeah.
Yep.
And you did bring that up. Okay. Go
Right.
ahead, Rye.
All right. So next is the Mouth of Sauron. 3 blue and a black for a 3/4 human advisor. When the Mouth of Sauron enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards, then amass Orcs X, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in that player's graveyard.
C for the colors. He can make a large.
C for the colors.
What did I say?
You
You
said
said
D.
D.
C for the colors, but D for the ability. He is very, very dependent on instants and sorceries.
We've had a few in there, for instance, sorcerers. I'd say low D or low C, but definitely C.
Yeah,
Above
Above the
honestly-
Balrog.
above the Balrog. Yeah,
he
I'm
does
fine
make
with that.
He could make a decent sized token.
If it's late in the
All right.
game, yeah, he could make a pretty
Yeah.
good sized token.
Next.
Let's meet our next D-listed commander, the Watcher in the Water. 3 blue for a 9/9 Kraken. It enters the battlefield tapped with 9 stun counters on it.
9 stuff.
Whenever you draw a card during an opponent's turn, create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. Whenever a tentacle you control dies, untap up to 1 target Kraken. Put a stun counter on up to 1 target non-land permanent. D above Bill.
Yeah, it's just nah.
Yep.
You're most likely not going to be drawing on other people's turns. It's just you just don't have the card draw for it. Yes, if you can do the untapping shenanigans that blue is capable of doing, a 9/9 is incredibly relevant.
All right. Back to Baldur's. Fracas the Butcher. 3 red-green for a 3/4 dragon peasant with trample. Whenever he attacks, double the power of each dragon you control until end of turn. Counts himself, so that's good. He's at least a 6/4 with trample for 5 mana. C.
Yeah,
Definite C.
I mean,
Just
for
because
the
he
colors,
himself
I can,
is good.
yeah,
himself.
I can agree with
And he's in 2 colors.
it's
Above
Yeah.
Oathbreaker?
Sure. I can go with that.
okay. This
Maybe even
one,
above Mahar.
I can see that as well.
No, he's good where he is. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Keep
All
going, right?
Yep. Next, we have Val, Count a Candlekeep Researcher. 3 and a blue for a 2/3 human wizard. Vigilance. Tap. Add an amount of colorless mana equal to Vol Candlekeep Researcher's toughness. This mana can't be spent to cast spells from your hand. Choose a background. D.
Yeah, because the only background she works with is Passion Archaeologist, and we can't even pull that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
D. Just
Well,
No,
there's-
the Tavern Brawler, I think, is the other
yeah,
one.
Tavern Brawler does exile something off the
Yeah.
top.
And
You
it
can
gives
play
her
that card.
and it gives her a buff, so it actually even works out well.
Yeah.
But because it's
You-
so
but
dependent,
one background.
yeah, it's so
Mhm.
dependent.
I would put
D.
her in the probably around Skanos.
I'd say,
At least she can get 2
yeah, around Skanos,
so
Yeah.
below him, yeah.
Sure.
okay.
Shelob, Child of Ungoliant. 4 black and a green for an 8/8 spider demon. Death Touch, Ward 2. Other spiders you control have Death Touch and Ward 2. Whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you controlled dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a food artifact with 2 tap. Sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life, and it loses all other card types. C? Definitely.
See.
Mid to higher C, just because she's a very relevant body
Oh yeah.
on her own.
And she's only 6 mana for that. Above
Yep.
above Frodo?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can agree with above Frodo.
Which is where she should be anyway. She kicked his butt anyway.
This is true. This is true.
Stung his ass.
Yep.
Alright. Ugluk of the White Hand. 2 red and black for a 3/3 orc soldier. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Ugluk. If that creature was a goblin or orc, put 2 1/1 counters on Ugluk instead.
Oh
he's-
man.
Actually a C, just because he doesn't necessarily care
Yeah.
about that. So mid-range C, I think.
So you're thinking like
Below Nira. Right above
Okay.
Elrond.
Sure.
that's fair. I yeah.
2 colors, relevant. Doesn't make it do it himself, but still. Okay, right. You get all the planeswalkers.
Yep, which is funny.
You
'cause
got them all
Planeswalkers-
last time.
Planeswalkers used
So,
to be
you
know
all
what's
my,
funny?
actually be my favorite card type for the longest time.
You know what's funny? I believe that both of you have gotten all the Planeswalkers of a set because of a deal I had to make to get a commander I wanted to read.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Hilariously, I have problems. We're aware of this.
All right. So the final planeswalker of this list is Tasha the Witch Queen. 3 blue and a black for a 4 loyalty planeswalker, Tasha. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, create a 3/3 black demon creature token. +1, draw a card. For each opponent, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from that player's graveyard and put a page counter on it. -3, you may cast a spell from among the cards in exile with page counters on them without paying their mana costs. C.
Yeah.
I would say C. Probably not high, honestly. Kind of a low C.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
thinking
would
like
Above
her-
the Oathbreakers, maybe.
I would say above Oathbreakers, if anything.
Okay, I was going to say above Sephiroth. Sorry, Sivris. All of the, because like Sivris really depends on the background that we need, so it would be below
yeah.
Elrond.
I could see that.
And
Okay.
you can hit good spells off of that. and
Oh, you
again,
absolutely can.
Yeah.
But as we know, people don't like you stealing their stuff, so you'll become public enemy number 1.
It's fine.
That brings us to one of the, I think, 3 available 5-color commanders that you can pull. Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
White, blue, black, red, green for a 4/4 God Bard. As long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, Tom Bombadil has hexproof and indestructible. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a saga card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. Honestly, D.
Yeah.
Yeah, D.
Highest of D because he's 5 colors.
But no relevant ability whatsoever.
No.
Yeah.
And
No,
honestly,
not at
5
all.
colors will give you choice paralysis.
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Sorry, Tom.
I mean, 5 mana for a 4/4 is not a bad trade. You are going to be in 5 colors, so you're going to have access
can probably do
to, well,
something, yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
All right. Vaconia, Drow Apostate. 2 in black for a 2/3 elf cleric. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Choose a background. See,
Solid. Yeah.
See?
she works with lots of things. She herself just, if you've got things in the graveyard, you're going to get something back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
What are you thinking?
The only way she goes into D is if you get a, black background.
True.
Above the Balrog,
yeah. Okay.
maybe above the mouth.
I would say above the
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go above the mouth.
I was going to
I
say,
can
the
agree with
mouth
that.
has got too much to depend on. Vaconia is just going to be like good value throughout the game.
Right. All right. I always keep getting this son of a gun.
Yep.
All right. Up next is Volo, Itinerant Scholar. 2 in a blue for a 2/3 human wizard. When Volo enters the battlefield, create Volo's journal. A legendary colorless, I can't say that word correctly, artifact token with hexproof, and whenever you cast a creature spell, note one of its creature types that hasn't been noted for this artifact. 2 in tap. Draw a card for each creature type noted for target permanent you control named Volo's journal. Choose a background. Honestly, I could argue high C.
Yeah.
Maybe low B.
You're going to have a lot of different creature types in this
Yeah.
format.
He
It
definitely
just
works.
Draws you a card. I mean, even 2 mana draw 1 is standard in
Yeah.
blue.
Above
And you get
Elrond?
2 colors with him. Yeah, definitely above Elrond.
Above Elrond. All right.
Maybe even above Uglug and Nira. Because he does
He is
draw
kind
you
of
cards.
yeah, he is consistent,
accept
and
that.
the card draw is yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be sad to pull him.
All right.
Wilson, Refined Grizzly. 1 in a green for a 2/2 Bear Warrior. This spell can't be countered. Vigilance, Reach, Trample. Ward 2. Choose a background. Why is this bear so gosh darn good?
He's B.
He's B. He really is.
B for bear.
B.
B for bear.
Low
We
B,
put-
but B.
So we thinking below Shadowheart?
Above Shadowheart.
Shadowheart
Just-
cares more about the background than she needs, where Wilson really doesn't.
If you can buff him, cool. If you can't, I mean, if you can get that
Noble Heritage to me is the best
Noble
one.
Heritage is really good. If you can get Cultist of the Absolute, that's pretty good. You're in Golgari. He's already going to be like a 5/5 with Flying Death Touch, Trample Vigilance, blah, 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 and more Ward.
And more Ward.
Yeah.
They do trigger.
Because that's
They
what
do
he
trigger
needs.
individually.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
All right. Witch King, Bringer of Ruin. 4 black for a 5/3 Wraith Noble Flyer. Whenever he attacks, defending player sacks a creature with the least power among creatures they control. Still D. Cool
Yeah.
D, but D.
We going there?
Above Skanos. Because at least he removes something.
Okay.
And he's a relevant flyer.
Yeah.
Hey, look, another flyer.
Another Witch King.
Yep. And following that up is the Witch King of Angmar. 3 black for a 5/3 Wraith Noble. Flying, whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature that dealt combat damage to you this turn during Tempts you. Discard a card. Witch King of Angmar gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it.
Higher D.
Higher D. Yeah.
Above the
Pretty
original
absolutely.
Witch King.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Definitely, it's relevant protection, relevant for both yourself, and himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, not bad.
Just put this man in D.
We know he's
Yeah.
Honestly, above Bill for the sake of the joke, but Will,
Yeah,
Blade
Will
of Frontiers, 1 and a red for a 1/1 human warlock. If you would roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many dice plus 1 and ignore the lowest result. Ignore the lowest roll. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, put a +1/+1 counter on Will, Blade of Frontiers. Choose a background. There is no background that lets you roll dice.
Yeah.
Honestly, if there was a background that lets you roll dice, I'd put him higher up in D for his possibility.
Yeah.
But even then.
Geek, I swear to God, this must be fate.
Yeah. Zevlor. El Turel Exile. 1 blue, black, red for a 4/2 Tiefling Warrior with haste. 2 mana, tap him. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a single opponent or a single permanent an opponent controls this turn, for each other opponent, choose that player or a permanent they control, copy the spell, and the copy targets the chosen player or permanent.
Long story short, for that ability, if you cast a lightning bolt targeting your opponent, then tap. But before you did that, you paid 2 and tapped Zevlor. You now have paid 3 mana for a lightning bolt that targets each opponent.
Yep.
It's relevant.
Pretty good. I would put him in definitely B.
In
Low
B?
B. Yeah.
So we're
3
saying
colors, pretty relevant. He's a 4/2 for 4 mana with haste.
All right, I'll accept it.
Okay. So that's all the commanders again. So that is 216 commanders we've ranked. Good Lord.
Boy.
I'm pulling up. I want to pull something up. I'm pulling up the original list from episode 1 real quick. I want to see, just compare.
I think there were 5 S rank commanders in the last one.
I believe that is
right.
correct. Let me see.
Okay.
So 4. There were 4.
4 of them.
Yeah.
So Aurelia, Nadu, Asterion, and
Cruel Claw.
Cruel Claw. So we've had this settled out. Now, realistically, we're all probably thinking an A or S rank. Ryan, you're guaranteed to pull it. What commander would you want to see at Commander Sealed for you?
Honestly, Minskin Boo. 1, because I don't own the card. Actually, I actually don't own our card, and I do love Planeswalkers, so I would like to pull them. But honestly, there's no card in the S or A tier that I would not see. Even the B tier commanders, I would be content with, because they with the versatility and everything. Obviously, it's all with them being packs. It's all down to random luck. Hopefully, luck's on your side that day. If it isn't, you can still do something at least to have fun. But in the end, think of it for this way. If you're under Commander Shield, you're doing this for charity. Have fun with it. Play what you want to play.
Yep.
If you want to play to win, play to win. But if you want to play just to have fun with it.
Agreed.
Yep.
So that's what I'm doing.
Definitely.
Geek, same question.
Ooh. Let me try to remember all the A tiers from last time.
I have them up in front of me if you would like.
What we got?
So we have, for A tier from episode 1, we have Karlach, Sorin,
Karlach.
Fair.
I want Karlach.
Fair.
Hopefully with Sword Coast Sailor, but Karlach. Failing that, Aurelia's really good.
Yep.
Astarion would be fine, but I would like Karlach because I like Karlach.
Fair enough.
What about you?
If I'm not gonna be too obvious, I would love Sauron, but that's purely because, not because I want to win, but because I love Lord of the Rings. But I think realistically, who I think the most sound commander is from what we've ranked in S and A ranks between both videos, I actually think it's Faramir, Prince of Ithilien.
He's pretty good.
He's got a reasonable mana cost with a decent power and toughness. And on top of all of that, he's got a relevant ability that works upon your end step.
Yeah. No, he's a solid card. Very.
Realistically, I'm going to get a
you're
D
likely
rank
to,
commander.
You could be pretty skippy to get him.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so that has been us here at Magic the Dungeoning with our special guest, Geek Beardley, doing the Commander Sealed tier list. If the comments come around that they want us to do what could be the quote unquote random packs, I'm not going to do that. We're not. It's just too random to say whether or not.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. And
I can tell you right now, if I can get the commander I want to pull from one of the random packs, it would be from Ixalan. It would be a special guest, and I would want Lord Windgrace, who would arguably be an A on our list from everything that we've talked about.
I'd honestly want Thrasios, and hopefully somebody has Dargo.
Yeah, and they're willing to trade you.
I wouldn't tell them. I'd be like, hey, can I Dargo?
Let me get Dargo. Right? Yeah. Then you just put down Thrasios, and they go, hey, wait a minute.
I was looking at like, you going for the chaos route, or you going for the you going to punch face route? Yeah, take it.
Yeah. I'm hopeful when we're there, you get in your pod, you can convince them. You know, you look through your pool, you see your fixing, you see the cool cards you've got, and then you're able to like everyone build the best deck you can. That's usually the most fun, because you're not guaranteed to play against your pod at any point in the tournament, and it just you make a good deck, and everybody has a good time.
And that's what I mean. Like just have fun.
Exactly. I have played 3 years in a row, and I've not once played against anybody that I've built with.
You've never not once?
So
you always have played?
No, never once. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh, never once. Okay.
I've
never played against your pod you built with.
Correct.
Exactly.
Again,
big group of people.
For example, realizing from last year when I built Zimona Dina, somebody handed me a Ledger Shredder.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good card.
Yeah, and another person, a very nice girl at the table, was just like, oh, you want to draw cards? I pulled Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim, and I went, please.
Play.
But that has been us here. Oh, any last remarks, Ron?
No. I was gonna say, like, if anything, I'm going to take both lists into consideration. And if anyone would like to post, we can probably work out a post on Twitter, the actual number of each, like from out of the 216, we can break down by the numbers how many creatures ended up in what rank.
Oh yeah, we could definitely do that.
So big.
The only other thing I would
so we would just put the numbers
out
of it, like we wouldn't put the actual images of it because well, we actually could put them side by side. Semantics. We can work with that on this.
I think the only thing I would ever want to expand upon that might be like a small video between the three of us would be determining which of the S rank commanders is actually the strongest.
Yo, that would be a fun video because, it'd be out of it'd be 7 cards we'd be talking about. Which the S rank commanders are literally Sauron, Minkskin Boot, Frodo, Sauron's Bane, Aurelia, Cruel Claw, Nadu, and Astarion.
That is a tough decision, actually. They're all really strong commanders.
But with that, we can talk about that later. Let's see how these videos go.
Yep. Geek, would you like to shout yourself out as we leave?
I've been Geek Beardly everywhere. Planar Project on Twitter as well and on Moxfield. So thanks for having me again.
Not a problem. It has been a pleasure to have you. I am Will. This is Ryan. You definitely want to join us for our next episode, untitled, during the main campaign, because we have no idea when this video is going to go out.
True.
Yeah. But please join us for what will be out is our Arc Innistrad Crimson Hunt. And everybody, have a good night.